I really need to clean up. This place is starting to kind of roll in on itself like an omelet. Which is not good when you describe the mess of your shop. You compare it to an omelet. I'm gonna need to get a glass of water in a minute here before we get rolling. I got more of these wrenches that I like. I got gypped though. Actually, maybe I shouldn't say that. Isn't that like, yeah, that's like probably a bad thing to say. I got ripped off because these are supposed to be ball ended, and the smaller ones don't have ball ends. Smaller ones aren't ball ends, and they do that to keep them strong. That was a cool song. I like it. Oh, that no ball end. What's the point of this then? Man. I don't even know where I'm gonna put these. You know, the little ones that I get from like stuff that I order, those are the ones that have the ball ends on the smaller sizes. And I have broken one off before. Or this will be the number 3. Number 8. And number 6. All right, these are pretty useful when you build the like 80/20 and the 20/20 rail stuff, because the ball end lets you get in there at an angle. And I originally had these two, but I bought from 80/20 Incorporated, and then I used it so much that there's no label on that one. This one has the brand name on it, so that's how I found the sets. How does this one compare? What do I have? 2 5mm. Wait a minute, what the fuck? Wait. What the hell? You guys saw me take them all out just now. I have 2 5mm. What is this crap? Hey, at least I had the 6mm from like many years ago. Unless... No, this one has wear marks on the ball. Yeah, this is definitely the one that I had, but I'm the company is like gaslighting me. Like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Like, these are both brand new and I have 2 5mm. What if that happened with the other set? Well, I got a place for my 6mm one now, and now I have an extra 5mm one. What the hell? I feel like I'm being gaslit. It's like, wait, no, you got all the right sizes. I should have had double 6s, not double 5s. You can see the metal handle, the metal inside the rubber here, means that I get a lot of inertia when I spin it like this, which is why I like spinning it like this. So you guys know that when I got, I guess there's 4 people here for me to admit my utter failure as a human being. I got, oh yeah, wait, I gotta start chatty. Sorry, chat's gone, they're dead. Now they're back. Supposedly. Yeah, I think that'll work. Next set I order, I'm probably never ordering them again. These will last until I die. Judging by how long, you know, the ones that I had previously last. But yeah, I don't know. This is ridiculous. I'm getting gaslit. Anyway, yesterday I went to my primary physician and had, you know, like I guess a yearly checkup, although he's like, I want to see you back in 4 months. All right. And he was like, did you get a flu vaccine? I'm like, I'm triple vaxxed for COVID. Let's just go ahead and do the flu vaccine today. I got my flu vaccine with the COVID booster shot. So now I'm double seasonal flu vaxxed. As a diabetic, the seasonal flu vax is like a religion to me. But like, I got 2. And so I woke up this morning feeling like absolute butt, went back to sleep for about an hour, and now I feel fine. Like, I don't know. I'm a little weird today. I feel a little off today just because of the unintentional double vaccine. I guess I'm prepared. The only thing that these don't offer that these do is this the side piece. So yeah, so anyway, I got a lot of antibodies flubbing around. I had a dream that my lymph nodes were like super swollen. What a weird dream. It was a weird dream. I got a bad hair day today, just because of the whole situation, so that's fun. I got a weird swoop. That's like ruining my hair today. The swoop cannot be stopped. Once my hair has decided, it is, you know, my hair just will decide what it looks like for the day, and so it is decided. So I have nothing to do with it anymore. Oh, I almost pulled out my mic. Let me put these sort of back. I'll have to relocate the Huskies to somewhere. I don't know where exactly. I don't really have anything to hold them. They're getting old though. The Husky Allen T-handle torque. What are they? T-handle Allen keys? The Husky T-handle Allen keys are a little old. They're getting a little musky. Do I have any repeat sizes on this? $32, $9.64, quarter. No, I don't have any repeats on this one. The English sizes. I got more English sizes than I do metrics, which is annoying. Back, maybe become an mRNA soon, which will hopefully make them universal, not needing to be based on specific H&N variant. Oh, interesting. What's up, DHT Arts? Yeah, it'd be nice. I mean, I get seasonal flu vax, so, whatever. I want to do something briefly with the pedals, and then we can break to go back to the 3D printer. I'm just going to try to get this out of the way first. I don't think my Raspberry Pi needs to be plugged in for this. I want to do a little hardware prep for the motherboard that's going to come today, so I can just plug it in and start rolling with it. And then I think I'm going to go with Clipper. I think I'm a little pissed off at Marlin for its complexity. Oh, copyrighted song. By the way, at the beginning of streams, I'm listening to Metronomic Live, and I would be disingenuous if I said that I didn't feel a little guilty for just stealing his stream. I mean, it works as a promotional tool for him, but I don't think he really needs a promotional tool. His body of work speaks on its own, and he does good stuff. His Metronomic Live, he does housey kind of stuff like this that I like to listen to, and yeah, you guys should check him out if you get a chance. What I do is I play his stream, and that directly allows me to skirt the copyright bots. Because they, yeah, I can double dip on the system, and that way I don't get in trouble for playing music at the beginning of my stream. Music that's semi-good and popular and all that stuff. I used to play ironic, unironic, like dad rock. Well, when he plays copyright stuff, the bots get it. As long as I'm not playing a stream that was like a day ago. That's an open surface, and technically I could put something on it, but I'm gonna feel bad about it. There we go. Might as well. Any open surface in a storm. I have to move all that rail stuff off of the milling machine today, because that's what we want to primarily get into. I'm gonna go get that glass of water. I'll be right back. It's another one of those cloudless days here, so I'm gonna get full volume sun coming in the window. So I gotta close the shade. My hair will not cooperate today. I'm quite angry. I'm quite angry at my own hair. Like, why are you doing this to me? You know, SSDs are like $30. Why are you doing this to yourself? This giant USB drive project. Whoa, my bit rate's all over the place. I wonder what that's all about. Usually my bit rate is like solid. Huh. Maybe Verizon needs to be reminded that I actually use the internet for my job. That whole business with internet as a utility in the States is like the most corrupt fucking thing I've ever heard of. Like, these politicians probably really don't need to be convinced that people need their internet to pay bills nowadays, right? Like, this is not a difficult concept. This is not beyond the understanding of old men. But like, especially after the pandemic, like if that bill came up now, absolutely the internet would be classified as a utility. It's just the dumbest fucking thing in the world. It's an embarrassment, like most stuff coming out of politics. We're not really gonna have room to work on the pedals over here. This is not, the pedals are too large for this. It's all right. We're working on the, I just wanna work on the clutch. We can think about the gas pedal too if the clutch is successful. I wanna put the spring behind the clutch, so I need to bring everybody with me on that. It's a mechanical thing, so people won't be jumping down my fucking throat about everything, although it depends on whether or not the machinists show up to hang out. When the machinists show up to hang out, everybody, you know, everybody has their little back of the room club where they go, I can't believe, oh, if you know, Bother's doing something wrong. And they have their little giggle fest at my expense. I'm working so hard to not be triggered right now. Fucking hate those comments. Look at me, I'm better. It's like, dude. Do you know how to drive with a stick? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, my whole life. The only car that I've ever owned that hasn't been stick was the Volvo 164, which was unfortunate because I love that car. We eventually, I think, donated it. Man, I should have kept that car. But yeah, every car I've owned has been stick shift. It's the only way to drive. I'm gonna be pretentious about stick shift now. Nah, I just like cars. I like driving. I like toxic masculinity. No, wait, no, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. I got a lot of little sections of spiral wrap over here. I'm just like spiraling them all together. You can downshift in an automatic if you phone ahead with you know, the forms all filled out in triplicate, and eventually that signal from the pedal gets to the motor, and then the motor initiates a 7-step process what shifts you down slightly and then back immediately. 164. 168, given the Volvo nomenclature, would imply that there are 8 doors. Back then, they don't do that anymore, but they used to have in the naming schema of the car was the number of doors. So 168 would apply 8 doors, and I don't know how you're gonna fit that many in a I'm having a bad hair day, so I'm gonna constantly be messing with my hair. Fucking bad hair day. I didn't expect that today. I think it's because I fell back asleep. my excess vaccination shot. 'Cause I already had been vaccinated, but I forgot until I got home, and then I was like, oh no. So now I've got like mild, super mild symptoms. Take a double dip in the vaccine pool. My immune system is impenetrable. Alright, well, that's still a mess. It's still a mess. My whole life is a mess. The shop's been, like, getting worse and worse and worse in terms of, like, the utter chaos that I have to rein in. I know that's just the way it goes, but it affects me mentally when this happens. Yeah, I got a lot of... I should probably do a sweep. I should probably do an end-to-end sweep and really clean stuff up and find places for things. Like that Connect 4 that Twitch sent me, I don't know what to do with that. That's just waste. It's just like a plastic nightmare. Maybe that goes up there. Maybe I move the electrical hard hat finally. Those two fans that have just sat there, those are meant to go in the rack. The rack needs to get the computer in it, and then I can do a lot of the finishing touches, like putting the panels back on it and stuff like that. And then it'll be more visible over here when this tower case is out of the way. You know, then it'll look a little bit more organized. Meanwhile, all of the wall tiles are falling out. This is like an ADHD nightmare bin, this place. This place is the typical, like, oh, look at that lazy person with ADHD who's just sitting there in the middle of a big mess. But in reality, it's like, I have a mental note of absolutely everything that needs to be done in here, and having it all in my brain at once makes this an absolutely uncalculable time sink, which it's not. And if I would just focus on one thing and fix it and get that done, then I would be in better shape. And then what I'll end up doing is one thing, and that's it. I don't know. I've been busy lately. I've been busy, and when I get busy, I get weird. So, I think now that things are gonna settle in and calm down, I think I'll be in better shape, and I'll be able to set apart. I don't know if I can't do Wednesday. Well, I can do some cleanup on Wednesday, but I got an out-of-town friend around, and I want to hang out with him a little bit. I was gonna get him on stream. We're gonna work on game consoles, but he doesn't really want to do that, which is disappointing. Because today anyway, I need a break from I need a break from the 3D printer slough. But I've got a new motherboard coming for the printer. Do what I do. Focus on the simplest thing. Have you tried not having ADHD? That's what that is. The simplest thing. Yeah, a new main board. It turns out the SKR, whatever the hell this thing is. What is this? And I'll go over this again, but the SKR Mini doesn't have enough pins really taken out for me to use. And I was considering whether or not I wanted to use this in Burn the Subs. But I wouldn't be able to use Gerbil. And if I really wanted all those inertial things, I'd probably have to use Marlin for the ARM board. Palette Apocalypse? Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like palette projects on the internet, and they all look cool, and I would love to do them, but I imagine that if I was in the situation where I actually had access to palettes, I would be like, I don't want access to palettes anymore. I just want to like throw them out. They're like 20 bucks a pop, right? You can find them all over the place. My friends in the city used to have a wood burning stove called Hutch. It was Hutch Oven. His name was Hutch. But they would get pallets from like up the street, and apparently they had to like get them quick because people would get those pallets and then sell them. I love pallet wood once you spend weeks sanding, huh? I would imagine it's a pretty cheap but durable wood, right? Programming aid. What? What? So like, yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this hardware. it would run burn the subs really well, except that Gerbil is really good at being a laser cutter. Oh, the rubber duck, yeah. Well, Big Tree, whenever you buy something from Big Tree nowadays, you get a tiny little rubber duck, which I would rather they just throw it in the ocean for me, because that's where it's going. This song's pretty badass. I like it. Yeah, I don't want a piece of plastic like with my stuff. Look at me. I'm buried in what is ostensibly an overloaded omelet of trash, right? I do not want the rubber duck with me. Picture of free pallets. Take what you want. Oh my God. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Like if you had a pickup truck, you could make a lot of money off of that. That's a lot of money. If you can find where to sell them, I think you can get like, probably not, maybe not 20. I don't know. These days, you could probably get a pretty penny, like a really nice looking penny, like a really shiny penny. You could just make a pallet fortress. You could have a rave where you make pallet walls and then a pallet DJ booth. That would be pretty pallety. What? That'd be awesome. I'm having a bad air day. Go away. Leave me alone. That was the font size. It's like the most important thing. No, give it back. That's more like it. No, we're not working on burn the subs today. The 3D printer is required for burn the subs. So what we're gonna do is, well, I'll get into it when we start. Palletdrome. Welcome to the Palletdrome. 2 enter, 1 leaves. Oh, those are moldy trash. Ah. One-time use. Well, you need to get a wood stove. Plan, work, and motivation. Well, you're not gonna get motivation. Never plan for motivation. It's literally right here. Like, I keep it prominently on screen. Are people unable to, like, I don't know, I've seen, you know, like people using like bots to command the title. I guess I understand because of cell phone users, but like on the desktop or on the web interface of Twitch, like it's just right here. Metronomic Live is who this is, and I give all credit to him. He's really good. I like his music. It's a little, probably a little loud right now, actually. Let me just do that. It should be a lot quieter than I am, but yeah, it's really good. If you like this music, check out Metronomic_Live. He's a DJ out of New York City. And he did this during the snowstorm, I believe. No, this wasn't the snowstorm? Nah, it's just foggy behind him. That is the actual backdrop to his apartment. Pretty cool. I routinely apologize to him because I am stealing his content. I'm blatantly and I wouldn't say unapologetically, I'd say blatantly and apologetically stealing his content so that I can double dip on the copyright box. I don't need to do shit. I like this music and I'm gonna listen to it every fucking day. Switch app is super annoying. I can't switch to dark theme. Oh god. Really? Yeah, I don't use the app. I just use the web interface. And if I gotta watch, well, actually, no, I do. I do use it when I travel, which is never. I haven't traveled in 3 years. Ugh. I used to put on like D&D streams as like an in-car kind of thing. I would imagine they have to have a dark mode on their app. Hidden in the settings, All right, let me get the stuff. Let me get this stuff over here. You got the money? I got the stuff. Blech. Did that song just have somebody in the background going, yeah? That's so weird. You can never have enough brackets, right? Yeah. There's just somebody in the background of the song. Just go, yeah. Oh my god. Just like, you get this just like complicated beat and then somebody's just like, yeah. 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 This one might have been a bad buy, depending on whether or not the V3 gets here. I don't even know if there's a difference between this one and the V3. Yeah. Meow. This is the new screen. New screen for the 3D printer. I looked up some stuff. Not compatible. Not compatible with this board. There aren't enough pins taken out for me to use it. Yeah. I need to get a clean sample of that so I can put it on the mixer board. Just some guy like in the corner of a club just going, yeah. My old screen name was based on Akira, but it was spelled all stupid. Back when I was making AOL handle, and originally I had something real like edgy and Latin based that was just stupid, and then I upgraded to Akira, which wasn't much better, but it was the coolest thing in the world for 14-year-old me. But anyway, so I ended up trying like Canada, and I tried spelling it weird over and over again until I got something that kind of resembled the name. And then it ended up being Canada. And I'm like, oh. So, I don't know. I've never been good at making handles and screen names. I'm not good like that. Some of these content creators, man, they can just pull like Grimsby Blimbo out of the deepest recesses of their assholes, and it's like the funniest thing in the world to me. I'm not good at that. I'm not good at that. Beautiful. Oh, Canada, that's just their anthem. Mm-hmm. You know it. Everybody likes my dancing. Nice. Yeah, no, that, you know, hey. It's a thing we do, my neighbor and I. You know, I'll put the leaf blower up against their window, their bedroom window, and then, you know, they'll walk their dog at me, and then I'll steal their car pedals, and then they'll get the mail and like look at my house. And, you know, I'll get them back for that silly prank by, like, you know, firing sniper rifle rounds through their chimney. It's a pretty healthy neighborly, you know, just relationship. It's just typical around here. This is smaller. There we go. A good song, man. This is a good mix. This is a really good one. I think I slept on these songs. I don't know why. I don't know why I don't remember these when I listened to it originally. I can't edit scenes while. We can do this one quickly here. Wait, copy. Maybe not reference, maybe duplicate. Nah, see, it went away because I pasted a reference. Can I Control Z my way out of that? Oh no, you know what? I didn't put it on face yet. Yeah, see, it's here. So it needs to go on to face as well. This is getting complicated. Undoing this is going to take some time. There you go. You guys are seeing how the sausage is made there. See, now I can't move, because if I move, and that means I can't get to the stream deck. That didn't work at all. That didn't work at all. Can I unreference it? I think I just need to delete it from here. Hold on. Delete. I'll just use the minus button, I guess. Paste the duplicate. And then I can freely move it around. Ah! Hey, Octajay, how's it going? Thank you for the sub. Why can't I? Oh, God. OBS can be really weird sometimes about what it lets you click. There we go. Now, hopefully that one didn't move. That one didn't move. All right, here we go. 54 months. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Maybe I did it for just the bit. Hair does actually look pretty terrible right now, though. Not up to my standards. You stream with a face cam, you got a lot of things to consider, like how much sleep you got, how deep the bags under your eyes are, You know, things like that. That needs to go over to the left a little bit. Yeah, so you got to manage a lot. You got to like brush your teeth and do all that stuff. So every now and then, I did it for the bits. Yes. Yeah, you gotta consider all the stuff that goes into like the visual aspect of streaming. I don't stream games typically. I'm here on a public access TV show. You know, all of the cameras have to be managed and all of the shots have to be framed. There's an artistry to the live aspect of coordinating all your video stuff in just fluidly, right? Because I mean, a lot of streamers just turn on a camera and like it's like a washed out video feed of them, or they rely on green screening or you know, stuff like that in order to just make the, you know, put them down in the corner so you can see a little bit of the reactions and stuff. But even then, the more popular of those people are actually like making sure they look good. But with me, we're doing a lot of stuff dynamically. We're working on stuff. We're getting our noses into things. So I need to manage all that video all at once. So if I have a bad hair day, I notice it quite a bit. Thank you for the 300 bits, OctoJ. I really appreciate that. I don't have anything to track. I don't have that software. This is just a tiny little bit. This is just a tiny little bit because I'm having a bad hair day and I'm the only one that notices it. Everybody wants me to take it to the nth degree. No, I'm not gonna. It's just a dumb little bit, guys. I wouldn't like do it in every scene that incorporates my face. That would be taking it way too far. Are we really gonna do this today? I think we are. Got a lot of stuff to figure out on this, and I've been kind of stalled creatively with it, so I figure I'm gonna throw it right up in my face and see how it goes, you know? Thank you, I appreciate that. I don't need compliments on all of my bits, but you guys want me to take everything to the, you know, into being a big deal project, like face tracking and make a machine that shoots a laser into the sun. Like, dude, I just put a funny thing over my face. Happens a lot around here. I have no expression. I don't have to emote. I don't have to emote for any of this stuff. It's interesting. I now understand how VTubers work. All you have to do is just make a happy face, and people assume that you're always happy. Even when you're surprised, you just have the same happy, vapid expression. Ah, damn it! No! I clicked the wrong scene. You didn't see me. Yeah, but like... No, I hate them. Their expression is so vapid. It's such a vapid fucking... Like, I can't... I know there are a lot of fans of VTubers out there, and they're great. They're great people, and they do good content and all that. I just can't stand it. There's no emotion. It's uncanny valley, and it's meant to be, but it's so, like... My whole life is anime. Like... Man, go talk to a real person. These songs is good. I like them. Kind of want to... There's 36 minutes left in the mix. I'm not going to listen to it all. If people have too many dimensions. like, okay, so there's a thing about like subtle face movements, and I know anime doesn't have that, but yeah, I don't know. I start a Lego stream when I move to Seattle. You're gonna not gonna stop me from being a cat girl. How's that gonna work? I hope Octoche, I hope you have a lot of arm hair, because it would be hilarious if you had a VTuber girl like avatar, and then you went to like a camera like the arm cam, and when your arms go in to like put the Legos together, it's just like Sasquatch hands. That would be hilarious. I would love that. Arm merkins. Bleh. Guys, I'm getting sucked into this mix. I really like it. I should probably turn this down and start the stream and get rid of my bad hair day bit. Oh, I don't know. It's just like YouTube is popular for people who have trouble reading emotions in real faces. Possibly. I think there's like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna talk too much about it. It's just weird. It's just weird because the VTuber avatar is always so happy and bubbly. It irks me when people are always happy and bubbly. Some people are genuinely like that, and that's fine, and I don't hate them. But I just don't, I can't do it. I can't do it. Wait a minute, is this Gambino? No, is this somebody else? Is this super famous rapper and actor, comedian that I shouldn't have on this fucking stream? Because it's gonna get copyright struck like a fucking meteor falling on me. It kind of does sound like his It's not, it hasn't been struck here. What if I had like a downtrodden, like hungover avatar? Like a VTuber, but it was like me at my worst day. I don't want to turn off VODs. I have a lot of wonderful VOD watchers who can pause me and go back and watch the funny bit again. Can't see me bobbing my head, so I get to do it freely. Yeah, my VODs get quite a few viewers. It's awesome. I mean, people don't necessarily have the time to watch a stream live. There's something special about being there live for the stream. But as somebody who uses VODs quite a bit and loves to have something on in the background, like something that takes a long time, so that I can kind of like concentrate on other stuff and tune in every now and then. I don't know. I think that VODs are like a viable. They should not be turned off. And so I'm going to keep mine on. And so in order to preserve the VODs, you know, I'm watching somebody else's stream. I just get a little stressed out when I hear like very popular music thrown up on there and it's not copyright struck by this. I think the bots can potentially go back through and grab it, especially when I'm doing something clippable like a minor bit joke around here that yeah. You did what to your old friend? I mean, hey, whatever you guys feel like doing on your own free time. I just don't need to know when you're giving the schmeat to your friend, your old friend. There was a McDonald's ad that was pleased to meet you, and it was a picture of a burger. And I'm like, that's a sex thing. Like, that's not a burger thing, McDonald's. Who approved that? It was like on a billboard, like on my way to Philadelphia. Fuck you too. Hey, man. Now you know what it's like to be the streamer. A cool song. I like this mix. This is why we're still going, and I haven't started actually. You're gonna see me stalling for time a lot today, probably. Just because, like, I want to do this clutch thing, and it's not gonna take that long. And so I can do a little bit of the screen stuff over here. That'll require a little bit of soldering too, because I need to move the encoder, or just swap out the encoder, and then the LEDs. Yeah, I bought a new 3D printer, Mobo. I think you're aware of that, Cannibal, ahead of time, but I don't have enough pinouts on the mini one, and I'm actually considering, like, I don't think I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna wait until this is I'm gonna wait until we're done starting off. Damn it, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. This is like the, hold on. Turning off Metronomic Live be like, anyway, well, it's not, there's only 20 minutes left in the mix. All right, I'll turn it off. He's taking a sip of his drink. I don't like streamers who take sips of their drinks. All right, anyway, Metronomic Live, awesome, really good mix. Get the start soon out of here so people don't remind me about how to run my own freaking stream. You know, reminding me about the stream start soon only doesn't irritate me when I'm playing games, because I'm literally facing the opposite direction of the stream computer. If I'm doing normal stuff like this, I have the entire video output full on in view, and it's mostly the thing that I'm looking at. So people reminding me about overlays that I've left up, overlays that I've left up on the screen. Yeah, I don't need that. So anyway, let's get this out of here. Cool. Now I have no overlays active at all. What are we doing today? Well, today, I don't have anything to do with the 3D printer because the motherboard is not proper for this build, for my particular 3D printing needs. This SKR Mini is not going to work out. We did all that work, and I drilled holes in the bottom of this fucking thing. That's okay, though. Nobody's going to see them. Drilled holes in the bottom of the thing. It turns out not enough pins are really taken out of this thing for me to get good use out of it. Now, I could wrestle Marlin into submission and probably end up getting all the pins for the screen properly pulled out. But, I mean, last stream, we spent 5 frickin' hours repinning this 17 frickin' times. Never in any of the software where they said or the definition files from the definition files of the motherboard per the pinouts of this specific screen, nowhere did they say this is not enough pins, it doesn't work. Now, it was specific to this motherboard, so they should know you can't get the screen to work. But this is what happens when you have a lot of people working on the software, and there's too much complexity for it to get into the landscape, the vast landscape of potential 3D printer hardware, right? It's a big world out there, and there's a lot of things. And so this screen might be supported in other versions of the motherboard, or this screen might be supported in other motherboards, and then maybe the file getting moved over. Somebody went through and corrected all the entries. It's just that they didn't have enough to fully get data to this screen, and they didn't know that, and they just kept going through the rest of the file and, you know, sprucing it up. And then I come along and I don't have any information on it because I didn't look up anything. And yeah, when I first Googled it, when I actually got to look into forum posts and whatnot pertaining to this screen versus this motherboard, I found some Reddit threads, and they were like, yeah, there's just not enough pins. There were some comprehensive like analysis of like how to get it working, and blah 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 blah. Fuck that! I spent $50 and I bought a new motherboard. And that one is going to allow me to plug in this version 1 of the screen that I bought kind of like as an emergency buy. It doesn't have the right angle SD card, but I would be able to get that in there and be able to see the screen and get that all functioning and running. Probably didn't need to buy this, but the other one's not going to get here till April, so so I don't know. Smarch is running along quickly, but April, God, the passage of time is kind of an abstract concept at this point in the pandemic. Anyway, that's the 3D printer. So the new motherboard gets here today. I think I ordered something else that gets here today. I don't remember. Anyway, that gets here today. I have drivers on boards for it. We'll get into the software of that, get it working. I'm going to Clipper. I'm sick of Marlin's bullshit. Marlin is like a stack of pancakes in terms of configuring it. Maybe, but pancakes are delicious and you can eat. You can just cut the whole stack at once. That doesn't make any sense. Marlin is like a burrito. Marlin is like an onion. Marlin's like an ogre. What is Marlin like? I don't fucking know. It's like finding something at a junkyard where you got to keep digging down beneath the layers in order to get to what you need. In which case, like, sometimes you'll find like a little tutorial on how to do one specific thing, but then you don't trust it because they get it wrong and nothing works, and then you got to dig down way deep into the settings to blah, 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 blah. I'm going to go with Clipper. I don't know what the experience with Clipper is going to be like. I know Fatanon had a very simple time getting Clipper up and running and doing some amazing stuff on his setup. I think getting rid of limit switches, I have enough pins on that DB connector to do accelerometers on the 2 axes. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but 17th of February, what's going on then? February is a very stressful month for me because I have to apply for my benefits again. So I need to do literally every financial transaction that I've ever had this year. I need to get into a form, and it usually takes me about 3 hours to do, but it's a stressful 3 hours, I'll tell you something. It's a stressful 3 hours because I need to balance the books on literally every single penny that I've earned or spent and keep it below a certain number. King of Fighters 15. Oh, that's cool. Built an arcade stick. You should check out Sifu, I think is the name of the game. I don't know if you can play that with an arcade stick, but it looks like a game that you could play with an arcade stick. It reminds me a lot of Bushido Blade for the PlayStation, the original one. I've been audited before. I've had to do the same thing. I have, yeah. I mean, I have a non-subscription version of Quicken, and I just I put on that little financial visor, and I get my mechanical adding machine, and I sit there in like cigarette smoke and like one overhead lamp. And I sit there and I do all that stuff, and I get it all in there and balanced and everything, and then I produce an output at the end that tells me what my total, like the net income or whatever they're asking for, minus the expenses that I spend on this and giving you guys a show. So like when I bought the Granite Devices controller, we can get rid of this. When I bought the Granite Devices controller, I showed it on stream, and we've done some stuff with it, so I could mark off all that stuff as a business expense, a personal business expense. It's not like big deal. It's not like big deal accounting kind of stuff. Here, I gotta fix these before they come back later to haunt me. Before they come back later to haunt me. But yeah, that's something that I have to do like mid-February. I'm like at the mercy of them sending me information. And then they'll bounce me back with, yeah, you're approved for this much health insurance for this year. Oh man, it's stressful because it's like, I guess I'll die, right? Like if I don't get it, I'm just like, I guess I'll die. See you guys later, and I jump into an open grave. So that's fun. That's fun. All right. So yeah, what's going on with the 3D printer? New motherboard. Didn't have enough pins for that screen. Could I have gotten a big TFT screen and like tried to fit it in? Yeah, I would have had to take a lot of measurements, and then my front panel probably would have changed significantly. And since I made the screen in the middle and the encoder over here, I wanted to keep this together. I probably could have had like a plug on the back and run another screen, like a touch screen somewhere on it, but I don't know. I don't mind popping a squat and adjusting things and telling the printer what to do. with this stuff, because if I really was that lazy, I could send it G-code to do the filament changes and stuff. But I like having the screen on it. I like the screen as a status. Hopefully I can use the LED color as an indicator of what the printer's doing so that I can glance over at the printer and see what's going on. I would like to add LEDs to the printer itself. We've got that planned. It's not really going on right now. But there's just not enough pinouts in order for me to do this screen without significant modification or just bending my arm backwards around my back in order to make it work. So, new motherboard coming in. That'll be pretty much a plug-in solution, and then I'll pry this thing off. We'll do that maybe today, depending on how the clutch goes. We'll pry this thing, the screen off of it. We'll pry the whole front panel off, and then we'll get the screen out and this screen in. This is not the screen that I wanted in the end. It's still the right angle one, so I don't know if I'll be hooking up the SD card yet. But it does just about the same thing. It's the version 1 to the actual version 3 of this board. There's a version 3, and I got one with the right angle card slot. This one is not that. This is the emergency buy because I've got to wait a couple months for the new one to come in the mail. Takes forever. Okay, so, other thing. Yeah, the state of the cost of insulin in this country is not really that divisive of a topic, is it, anymore? It's pretty ridiculous. Anybody arguing for high-cost insulin is doing it in bad faith. And it's readily apparent that they are. It costs them like a couple dollars to make a bottle of insulin. And that's known. That's a known thing. Anyway. Cannibalize the angular SD card slot? Not this one. It doesn't have the right stuff. The SD card slot uses these 8 pins to go right angle, which I'm shocked that I'm not finding a lot of right angle SD cards on the internet. I mean, I feel like I've found all of them, and that's not an invite for you guys to start linking me to them. I don't need you to do that. I gotta be defensive about these kinds of things because you know that's what you guys are doing right now. I wasn't able to find a lot of places where I could source the right angle SD card slot in short order. If I were to convert this, I could find a 2-row right angle header, which I think I have a couple of those, but then I would need those holes to be on the board that mounts to that. This does a different scheme. This does a direct solder board kind of thing. Right there. There we go. Yeah, this just does like that. And so I can't replicate that. All right. Anyway, that's for later. That stuff's for later. I don't need the SD card functionality, you know, to be completely vetted out and functional yet. I can just use the onboard SD card slot for now. That'll be fine. Unless I can't fit the card. I'll have to figure that out later. I got all the parts here on the desk, and it almost makes it look like I know what I'm doing. I don't. What I'd like to work on first today is actually getting this spring behind the clutch pedal. Now, this spring is a gate spring. I bought it at Home Depot a while back. I'm gonna unplug that thing. I bought it at Home Depot a while back when, what was I doing with springs? Oh yeah, I was looking at springs that would function with the microphone arm. Really? Is that the one? Those aren't the ones that I have. Fanatec Club Sport. What are the ones that I'm sending the Gonad called? Oh, definitely not these. Oh man, I'm sad to hear that you let the smoke out of these things. Those look pretty nice. Wait, are those RC springs? Yeah, they are. It's two shocks from an RC car. I wanted to do this. That's what I wanted to do. You did something. What'd you do? The CSP? Oh. The old ones. The old ones. The plastic ones, not these. Like a V. Is that like a V4 or something? Yeah, V3. Let me do V1. Nope. None of these are the ones that I have had. They're Gonads now. I haven't shipped them yet. They're gonna ship. I'll try to get that done tomorrow. I got a friend in from out of town, and he wants to hang out, and so I will. But I'm gonna try to get these in the mail. I feel like overwhelmed with all the stuff that I'm trying to do right now. That's why I'm kind of like chilling out today. We're just gonna do something mechanical first, so that I can get a little bit of satisfaction. Oh yeah, you guys should know. Yesterday I went to the doctor's, and something about the pen medicine system that's not connected to anything else. They always hound you about, hey, did you get a flu shot? Did you get a flu shot? I was like, I'll get one. Why not? I got my flu shot with my vaccine booster. I forgot. So now I'm double flu vaxxed. This morning I woke up kind of in a rut because my immune system's like, what the hell is this? Like, I already took this test. What the fuck? So now I'm double super immune systemed off of this year's seasonal flu. As a diabetic, as a type 1 diabetic, getting a flu shot is like a religion to me, right? I always get it. Have to. The flu is not kind to people with diabetes. I'm talking about the flu. I'm not talking about COVID. So I got my flu vax yesterday. I'm feeling it, man. I feel like I just woke up from a nap. But this morning I woke up, I felt like I was under a sewer grating. And then I took 1 extra hour, and then I just felt like I woke up from a nap. Like so far today, that's how I feel. They cancel out of it. Oh no, they're anded together or whatever. Ord? I forget. No, that would be that and that equals 1. That or that. It's just knotted. It's just a knot gate. Anyway, I don't know. The Fanatec pedals that I'm sending to Gonad tomorrow, hopefully, are so old that I just can't find any information about them. You know what? I think they were like CS. No, that's not it. Whatever. I don't know which one. I don't know which. These are definitely not the pedals that I have. But Trump of Foreskin just blew his up by doing what? Hold on, I'm gonna read back. Let the smoke out. Boneheaded move. Grounded out the PCB to the pedal frame. It sucks. That sucks. Well, so I had these plasticky pedals for my sim setup, and what I'm trying to do is set up. Like we were gonna invert the pedals. Okay. Let's talk about the steering wheel project. So I've got real car parts in the steering wheel, except for the pedals. The pedals were plastic Fanatic. I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to say it. It's a weird word. I don't know how to say it. Anyway, I had plastic pedals, and I'm like, playing My Summer Car, I'm like, these are okay, but they don't feel natural. Like, I put my foot down, or yeah, put the thing up there, or you know what? I prefer actually being able to get through an explanation on my stream. All right, anyway, so fanny pack, yeah, there we go. So I had fanny pack pedals, and they're meant to like go on the floor. They've got like some Velcro on them to like stick to a carpet and stuff. And they're just, you know, little plastic pedals that'll get you through, you know, like a car game, and they'll feel okay. I was happy with that for a little while. It's just playing My Summer Car. I actually mounted the pedals on what used to be the keyboard tray for my desk. It was a set of frame rails that I made into like a box, and I strapped them to the piston of my chair so that when you're sitting there, you'll have the pedals like up a little bit, right? Felt a little bit more like a car. I found that the position of the pedals wasn't as comfortable as they could be. And putting my heel down and operating the pedal wasn't really possible with that setup. I was in socks, and I was just sort of holding my feet in front of the pedals. I even put my clutch foot down on the ground in order to be comfortable in that setup. I want to be able to sit in that chair, have my feet up, and feel like I am driving my normal car. That'll give me a much better sense of control. It'll allow me to control the car much better in my mind. I will feel a little bit less completely chaotic. Now, we were playing My Summer Car. That's a fundamentally chaotic game, right? That you are just not in control in that game, and that's fine. But I feel like my sense of control over the situation would improve with two things. And one is a gated shifter, and the other one is pedals that are a little bit more realistic. And that's where the Google search comes in. You see, I was trying to print out an H shifter, and that ended up tanking the rickety house of cards that was my 3D printer setup. So both of these projects are they're correlated with one another, right? But I need the 3D printer to do burn the subs, but the state of things just got depressing with the 3D printer. I was not able to get anything to stick to the bed. I had glass chips coming up off of the bed. It was yeeting the prints out just mid-print and just throwing them away. Because I have a couple prints that are just big platens and stuff like that. So what's wrong with the BMW shifter is that it's sequential, and that's a completely different feel. I feel more natural probably with an H shifter. It'll be fun, and it's something that I can 3D print like a big thing with. The sequential shifter, I would often skip gears accidentally because I double tap it or something. It's a good shifter, and it works for a lot of different applications, but yeah, I wanna add an H shifter and maybe tighten up some of the signaling on the wheel project. That's a small thing for me to do, depending on whether or not I do it on stream. Okay, so that's the state of that. 3D printer, you know, bit the big weenie in the sky. According to me, I probably could have gotten it to work, but it's time for an upgrade, and I'm doing an upgrade. We're gonna go to Klipper, and I think Klipper is probably gonna have a pretty big advantage because Klipper offloads a lot of the calculations over to your Raspberry Pi, and I've permanently got a Raspberry Pi connected to it for Octoprint, not OctoJ or Octopedal, Octoprint, which is a wonderful system, and basically all the guides start with you installing Octoprint. So I'm gonna reinstall Octoprint onto this thing. Probably have to make a list of all my plugins and stuff, and then I'll get Klipper running on this whole system, and hopefully my 3D printer will basically level up as a result. But anyway, so in the meantime, while the printer's down, I got a new motherboard coming in the mail. While the printer's down, I was like, wait, I need to redo my 3D printer. And Twisted Sister sent me this expensive board for free, which is, I'm now bricking this. I don't know what to do with this board. It would be cool if I could put this on Burn the Subs, but I don't think that's a I don't know. It's shaving. I don't know. It's more project than we really need right now, right? If I could put this on Burn the Subs, I've got the 24-volt output on this thing. I've got you know, the big stuff to use. I've got all the trinamic drivers on it. I could get that running on an ARM, like on an ARM core. However, the problem with that is that Gerbil doesn't do ARM, right? Gerbil is end of life, so it works on a plinky little 8-bit Arduino. But Gerbil does that inertial planning and stuff. I could run Marlin 2. That does the inertial planning and stuff. I don't know if Klipper probably has a laser table mode, in which case the Raspberry Pi that's running Burn the Subs would be running the Python and whatever stuff I'm doing in order to run Klipper. That's too much creep for me. Too much project creep, so I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to end up going to like a more advanced motor control system and this board on Burn the Subs. Maybe if I decide to do Burn the Subs 2.7, maybe. Oh my God, it's Klipper. Devin chat. All right, anyway. You don't have to do that. You can just put a kappa right there. But I understand that you're making a joke. It just took me a second. Okay, anyway. So that's like the discussion on the 3D printer stuff. Like, I would love to be able to run this over to Klipper and put it on Burn the Subs so that as G-code streams into it, it's able to do all of the movements and stuff. It doesn't really need to, though. Burn the Subs is doing okay on its own. So when we get back to Burn the Subs, I'm going to have to try desperately to not try to justify the sending of this hardware over. Maybe when the other board fills up in short order and I get a little bit better with Klipper and stuff, we can then put that board to use, right? We'll revamp the control board and everything, and then from there, because that'll be quick. I think that board's going to fill up quickly. So from there, maybe we then go to Burn the Subs 3, which is going to be using a completely different landscape of hardware. man, why do I let you guys in on all the stuff that's rattling around in my brain? Anyway, but for now, what happened was I was sent this board, and I went, all right, sweet, I don't have to spend that money. And so I allocated a little bit of money towards the pedal project and making it a little bit cooler and more advanced and improve its popularity so I get more viewers, right? So what I decided to do was actually buy real bona fide, honest to goodness, BMW car pedals, because we looked it up and these weren't that expensive. I'll put this over here. This is the frame that I came up with for them. It means I can't really get them on the desk, but maybe I can get you guys to come over here and then you can view my absolute shit sty of a shop. This isn't gonna work. All right, I need to move the 3D printer. Give me 1 sec here. I gotta rearrange stuff. Yeah. Let's get this out of the way. First of all, my third light I'm gonna need today. I don't know how I'm gonna get that fully out of the way. Kick some stuff, push some stuff out, move this around. Oh wait, it's all plugged in still. Never mind, that stays there. That stays there because it's all plugged in. Never mind, we'll have to work with what we got over here. This shouldn't take a terrible amount of time, but there's a little bit of machining that I want to do. How can I show you guys the clutch pedal properly? I guess I can move this over. It'll crush my 3D printer. There we go. Get this stool moved over here. All right. All right. Clutch pedal. So this is a pedal cluster from a BMW M car, I believe. Although purportedly, I mean, this is a metal brake pedal, but the clutch, I think on the M is metal. This one is plastic. So this is how the clutch pedal operates. It's got a little return spring that you guys can't see. Got a little return spring here that goes to a plastic tab on the side of the pedal. So that's out for giving me that clutch feel. I could probably put like a beef monster spring on it, but I think that would break off. I think that would be a bad idea. It would break off relatively easily. What we have in the original system is a cylinder here, which is the clutch cylinder, and that fits exactly on this thing, right like that. And when the clutch pedal is pressed in, we've got the full actuation of what's going on. And there's actually an electronic piece that mounts to the side, and what that's doing is it's looking for a magnet ring on the piston that goes back and forth. So it has two basically reed switches on it that will be triggered by the presence of the magnet. That's the full travel of the clutch. So from here to just about even right here with the brake pedal. So the entire actuation happens within this space. And within that space, what's happening is you're basically actuating another hydraulic cylinder that is either pressing evenly on the middle of the clutch spring or it's pushing a lever that gives it a big mechanical advantage. So during this like couple of millimeters, it's like I think about 20 millimeters, you've got a wonderful amount of travel of the clutch itself. And then this spring is there in order to give you this sort of crossover, I forget, it's called zero something spring or like a crossover spring. I forget the exact title of it. I think I'm getting it wrong. But it's got a particular name that describes its functionality, and it's designed to assist you in holding that spring at bay. So it's supposed to balance out the feel of the other spring, and it gives the clutch kind of a particular thing to it. Now, I'm not sure if older BMWs have this or not. I don't know if I can delete it, but that's what we'll find out today. So some of the things that I did since we've started working on this. Now the brake pedal is also on here too. We'll have to think about that later. But yeah, the clutch pedal, I want it to have that BMW feel, which is a pretty light clutch actually. BMWs have a pretty light clutch, and it engages pretty immediately because I think it actually adjusts itself. I don't know where the adjustment even happens for that to be a thing, but yeah, I want that feel. I want a light clutch, and I want it to have sort of it basically has a consistent amount of pushback through its range. Well, that can't be true. I guess it has a, what does it have? I mean, this is gonna decrease in assisting you as you press it further, and so is the clutch. The clutch spring is gonna increase in the amount of force required. So I guess you get a subtle ramp up in the amount of force that you need in order to actuate the clutch. I want that feel though. I want that feel to the thing. Yeah, it's going to be an analog axis. Yep. And then through adjustment tools, I can probably get it to have the right location. But usually for the BMWs, the clutch engages pretty much immediately, no matter what. So this would be like starting disengage and then disengaged. And the other thing I want to be able to do is rest my foot on it, because that's what I do when I'm driving. Like this will do nothing, but once you immediately cross it, like this about here is where it would disengage, right? So I want that. I want that. What's up, Taco Makes? Or El Taco Makes. The taco. All right. My camera weighs 500 pounds. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna move these out of the way for now. So you guys saw the pedals, you know what we're up against, right? I have managed to mount the pedals to the thing that straps to my chair, which is this frame. And then I also have what is going to eventually be the footrest. That's going to be important. I'm going to need a place to put my foot that's not on the floor. So this is a crossbar that fell off randomly because these fucking 2020 rails are so annoying. Anyway, this is going to be a support that's here, right? That'll enable me to slam on the brakes without breaking this thing, right? Because I mean, these little corner pieces are strong, but I don't want to trust them with a full emergency braking force. Yeah, so brake pedal, clutch pedal, they managed to almost fit like this. They're probably, I think they're tilted over just a little bit. And then I have measurements of where everything's supposed to go. Now I haven't quite made these go to the same exact measurements yet, but I can do that eventually. And then I'll be comfortable with my heels pressed in front of these, but they need to go way far back in order for them to be in the proper position. So I had to back everything off all the way to the edge over here. Ah, that sucks. Yeah, Twitch is very frustrating when you start to run into lower internet speeds. If you ever want to compare and contrast, talk to Groovy something. His internet is always spotty. It's a tragedy. Because he's not all that far from a metropolitan area. I don't know why his internet is so bad. Oh, it pains me. All right, so Groovy's another one of those. He'll do like racing streams, secret racing streams every now and then. Brake pedal weights are around 100 pounds. I'm not putting, I'm not gonna have to put full braking force into it. Because remember, like I'm not like sliding forward in the chair, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, what? I live in the sticks and I have fiber. You lucky bastard. Yeah, we happen to have fiber. We happen to have fire here. The shop is on fire. Nah, I guess I'll just show myself. What's a good entry level yet budget-friendly 3D printer? I have no idea. That's not how I work. I don't know. I got a Creality CR10S. Yeah, Ender 3 is pretty good. There's a couple 3D printers that just are almost universal for one another. They're all copied from one another. That they're great places to start. The Creality CR10S, I literally just it was like 4 bolts and then the whole thing was together and we started messing around with it. But CR10, Ender, Prusa Mini, yeah. Those are probably, I'm not an expert. Listen, I've been 3D printing for a while now, right? I guess I know what I'm doing, but I don't like to sound like I have the only answer, right? People are coming here looking for like, how do I get started in electronics? How do I get started with 3D printers? How do I get started with, I started in 1995, all right? That's when I started with electronics. In probably 97, right? It's different out there, and I don't have good recommendations. This is the problem with going to experts for recommendations on how to start out. It's tough, man. It's tough out there. But yeah, those are you probably have to spend a little bit, and then be aware that the 3D printer is going to become your hobby. Keeping that thing maintained and running and figuring out what exactly you like and how you like to run stuff is. I use it for functional engineering prints. So Fusion 360 to Prusa slicer to the 3D printer through Octoprint is basically what I want. And I want what I call Control P status. Control P status is that your printer is ready to go without any intervention at all times. So I can turn on the printer and I can send it the file and I can hit print, and in hours I will have a perfect rendition of what I have on my screen. That's my goal, and it's sometimes it's a little bit unattainable. Sometimes you have to have a lot of false starts to the print, but eventually I get to the point where I can go, here's a thing, and I put this surface on the bed, let's go. And then it gets shatted out by a little moving nozzle. Anyway, so back to what we were talking about. This is the clutch cylinder, and this thing is dictating a lot of the stuff. It's dick-potatoing a lot of the stuff that the clutch is doing. One of the things is this end stop right here. I didn't know this needed that. If I actuate the pedal, which is now all the way over there, oh good, it's next to the sun. If I actuate the pedal all the way out, this spring pulls itself apart. So, and then the pedals aren't even with one another. So there's a couple things that we need to accomplish here with replacing this with a spring, because I'm not going to run hydraulics on this. If this thing is any bit of an example, this is a fluid damper from a Mercedes steering wheel that gives it that expensive adjustment feel. This thing only works consistently when you have the bubble bobble on the end here facing upwards, because otherwise bubbles from the bubble bobble will bubble the bobble way and they'll bobble down into the actual fluid, like it's probably like a disc with holes in it, like a perforated disc that sits on the end of the piston. They'll bobble their way down and get in the way, and then what happens is this thing has like a little lurch to it before you actually get into the oil. And so that's a thing with hydraulic systems. So every time I would pull the pedals out of storage, I would have to put them upright, and then I'd have to pump the pedal in order to get those bubbles out, because this goes to a reservoir, and then essentially a clone of this piston is on the other end, with the reservoir thing plugged, or with a bleeder fitting on that so that you could bleed the bubbles out of the system. I don't want to have to deal with that, because when I store the pedals, I store them upright. So almost immediately bubbles would just be right up into the piston, and it would be an absolute disaster. I would die. I would literally burst into ash and then blow away in the wind. So yeah, anyway. I almost bought one, but after a long, hard think, I realized I don't need to print anything. Bubble, bobble, bubble, bubble. Yeah, I don't know. I hate 3D printers. I really do. I really hate them. I'm good at building stuff, and I'm good at building automated stuff, and I'm good at maintaining automated stuff. You can see here by the broken printer. But I don't like 3D printers. They are a necessity to me. The ability to print things like bracketry is wonderful, especially in the sense like where I'm like, that could be a plastic part, and then I'll spool up Fusion 360, make a simple plastic part, hit Control P, Bob's your uncle, I got a part. I mean, this thing isn't going to take a 3D printed version of this isn't going to take a lot of force, but You used to, well, actually, wait, if you said you used to blow them up, that doesn't mean that you're an insurgent. Oh yeah, that's true. I was like, wait a minute, what is this? Is this guy being an edgelord? No. Yeah, I used to do from the IEDE team. Anyway, so this is the clutch cylinder, right? Yeah, I thought I was being edgy, but it's no. There's a definite grammatical, unfortunately, distinction there. I don't have my other light nearby. Can I do that? I'm running out of space, as per usual. All the stuff in here is pushing me further and further towards the computer. We got two projects that have some like larger items associated with them. Let me get this light over here. Former combat engineer. Oh, so you actually blew them up. Damn. I thought you meant I used to blow them up as in I used to drive into them and stuff. No. That's crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. No, we were one of the JADO IEDE kind of deals with the FBI. But I was a contractor. Now I'm just a fat ass. All right. Right. So, clutch cylinder. A lot of trouble figuring out this thing. I took it apart, and I'll take it apart for you guys right now too. I don't have paper towels nearby. Damn it. I'm gonna get clutch grease all over the place. Tools required. pokey thing. Check. That's how you take it apart. That's all that's required. So what they have, I'm gonna see if I can get in here to use the microscope today. Hold on, I gotta like wedge myself in here next to my light. It's a... Okay, I think I'm good. Oh my God, dear God, my eyes. VOD dark mode users, skip to the end of the video. That is a beard hair. It's a beard hair. That's a hair for my beard. It's not. That's a hair beard. That's a beard hair. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. Oh, no, never mind. It's a scratch on the desk. That's a scratch on the desk. It's neither of those. All right. I think my settings are all jacked up. The Node Red stuff hasn't been working with the microscope very well lately, or any of the cameras actually. The FPS doesn't appear to change when I want it to. So those of you that are wondering, because you know we're getting a lot of new people as I work on different engineering things, which is nice. We get different people around here. The fart noises that you're hearing are not, in fact, the Taco Bell that I had this weekend. Good Lord, I don't understand what it is. It's like some kind of a magical process. I think I could power a small city every time I eat a bean burrito, but I can't quit bean burritos. They're so good. These are the times that, these are the trials that, these are the times that try our, I don't know. Anyway, I like bean burritos, but man, that was like otherworldly, the amount of gas that was coming out of me. But that's not me. That's not me farting right now. That passed yesterday. I'm done with that. This box right here is a random fart noise maker. It was a 9 fart sound little farty box thing that you could play around with. It was like a dollar store toy, right? It was funny. It has a lot of funny fart noises on it. So what we did is we hooked it up to an ESP8266 that I have log into the Twitch API and wait for somebody to redeem channel points. Once they do, fart noise. If you're wondering how to do stuff with the Twitch API on an ESP8266, some people think it's impossible, but you can check out GitHub. My code is on GitHub. I need to put more stuff on GitHub, more documentation and logs and weird stuff that I produce around here. Like a lot of my 3D prints should probably be on there, just because I should be sharing this stuff, just to prove that I'm not doing this for profit. A lot of it's for just personal. So anyway, back to this thing. Yeah, so the fart noises are actually physically noises in the shop. I love doing stuff like that. It's fun. Chat loves it when I program. They love it when I program. But yeah, that's you know the kind of stuff we do around here. Your 3D print should defo be on GitHub. Yeah, I guess so. For the fart box, I actually used one of those processes where it pauses the print and then you do a different layer. So I was able to make a light up layer behind, and then on the front we have like a black layer, and that way you can read the marquee text that says channel point fart box around the speaker. The speakers, by the way, is from a Harman Kardon like Wi-Fi light. Chat can't help it. I know. I don't know what it is about programmers, man. It's like intolerable. It's incredible that they can't watch somebody do it a slightly different way. All right. So they're like, man, it would be so easy if you use some eclectic notation that really just seems like it's designed to obfuscate the programming language specifically so that you can look smart. It's not even inefficiencies most of the time. Listen, I've been doing this for a while. Don't question me. I know what I'm talking about. I happen to know what I'm talking about here. Okay, so this is a split ring on the front of this piston, right? So they put a split ring with snaps on it, and somehow that's enough force to keep this thing in when it's got the full spring load of a clutch disc on it through hydraulics. Pretty crazy. So like Media does a programming stream, there'll always be a few people. Yeah, I don't know how Soding does it. I saw Soding had like a ton of viewers today, and he does his programming on Twitch. Who's the other guy? whose schedule is always totally, completely different from mine. Simuleos. I don't know how to say his name. He does programming streams too, but he's like an extremely smart programmer. His schedule is always like completely different from mine. So I think he's a monster developer. Yeah, well, he raids here frequently, which is awesome. So what I'm trying to do is just push this ring in and then lift it up. And I don't really care if I damage the plastic on this because we're not using this thing. It's sad that we're not. Maybe I want to keep it moderately in shape because eventually one day I'll build a sim pit, which is kind of what I'm already doing. One day I'll build a sim pit and maybe I'll want to actually have hydraulics in there to like completely match the M3 feel, even though I don't think this is M3. I don't think this is M3. I think that eBay auction lied, but I don't mind because I got a pretty good deal on everything. Yeah, moved time zones, couldn't catch his streams. Same thing with Simuleos. He's been moving around, so he was doing like an algorithm archive project. Pretty cool. It would be kind of awesome if I could just look up, like, oh man, I need to like swap these numbers around. Let's look it up. Yeah, we're gonna go. So this is a gate spring, and this is a puller spring. So it had pieces of wire in it, and you're designed to like pull it from either end. But I think this might have enough spring force to resemble a clutch spring. I don't know if that's the case. So we need to put together a test. And last week, was it last stream or was it last? I think it was last stream. My completely like awesome mechanical engineering buddy was in chat. Every now and then he'll watch the stream and like hang out. He's got like a shop in Philly that's like doing crazy architectural stuff. It's amazing. But anyway, he built that whole thing from the ground up. Like I feel like a shrimp if you compare the deeds between us two. But anyway, he's a college buddy of mine, and he was in chat, and I'm like, man, I don't know how to get this whole thing like mounted on the thing, blah 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 blah. And he's like, just use a block of wood, and I'm like, how dumb am I? But anyway, I want to test this spring out. I want to just test it out on the pedal in order to figure out whether or not we can get that premium, expensive luxury car feel out of this clutch pedal with the crossover spring. I'm gonna call that a crossover spring. I don't know exactly what to call that. Yeah, there is a Discord indeed. There is indeed a Discord indeed. 2 rules in that Discord. Stream projects is primarily for me to pass links over to here and specifically keep on-topic discussion of projects. There's a little joking around, and I'm not too militant about that sometimes. And then the music channel is for music, not comedic comedy stuff. I would even be reticent to allow Weird Al on there, even though that pains me. Everybody loves to poke holes in the consistencies of rules. That's like an internet thing, and that's not how you work the music channel. The music channel is for music, like music videos, music like YouTube links, whatever. It's to share music and good taste music. Yeah, and the third rule is that you are not allowed to have fun. That is strictly prohibited. It's tough because some people just have bad taste, and I feel bad policing it. Some people just have really bad taste in bad music. I know Weird Al makes great music. It's just the problem is all the rules lawyers will come in and tell me that, but you don't allow me to post this music of a. Here's the deal with here's the deal with the music channel. Here's the deal with the music channel. If you guys want to know why I'm like this, aside from just having taste, is that well, I mean. Julian has good taste in music. Every time I bring up an artist with him, he hates it. I don't have great taste in music, but I like to keep that channel far from getting into, the pitch shifted dog barking would take over music channels of old. Because some people on the internet, some of you freaks only listen to like internet comedy music. I don't judge, but I don't want that in a music channel, right? Because I actually listen to that stuff. I actually go in there and I click on the YouTube stuff and I listen to it when I have time. So I have another friend who I don't understand who's like, I don't do music. He doesn't listen to music in the car. He doesn't listen to any songs. He likes metal. There's something for you. Anyway, this is the piston. Look at the working end of our clutch piston. I started listening to anime music. Can you stop? You should stop. Don't let that in. Don't let that in. Does he just ride in silence? Yeah, he listens to the motor and just drives the car. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I actually have just like radio, like talk radio and stuff on. You know, that's when I listen to Alex Jones. I know some animes are exceptions. Those are the ones that actually just buy like a Radiohead song. For all the for chat, for all the credit that I get for using BTS as an acronym for Burn the Subs, the big project around here. I don't like BTS. I don't like them at all. I'm not into Korean boy band music. Why would a good steak need spices? Zesty anime takes. Hey, Pyro. Pyro likes the anime music. You guys can go talk about anime music. You could even do that in the music channel. I try to be good about that. I have wanted to drop the hammer on anime music before because I'm like, this is barely music. This is formulaic garbage. But I'm like, no, I can't judge based on taste. I just really try to keep it from becoming memes. That's why it's like no comedy music. And so in that vein, because everybody is a rules lawyer on the internet and they love to poke holes in literally, you in 1995 you said this thing and now you're contradicting it. And it's like, because people like to be like that about everything and it's irritating. If somebody were to, for instance, post something Weird Al in my music channel, I would have to get rid of it and put it into the funny channel. Those are the rules. I don't make the rules. Switch scenes so they don't realize what I just said. Anyway, I'm shocked. Yeah, I love anime, but I have a buddy who solely listens to anime music and it's a bit cringe. I mean, the music channel, maybe the music channel will do a good thing for you guys, right? Maybe it'll expose you guys to some interesting and different music. Maybe we can wean you guys off of being such irredeemable weebazords. Yeah, please don't be a Discord terrorist. All right. So anyway, this is. I mean, it's my Discord. Anyway, so here we are. I have removed the entire clutch cylinder, completing the disassembly of the actual body of the clutch, of the hydraulic clutch in a BMW. The piece that goes on the side here is somewhere else. I've got it sitting on the bench over there, but it's basically just detecting this ring. I mean, all this thing is, we got a plastic body around a metal piston. I would assume that the metal piston is just in there for the sealing properties. They probably would make it plastic if they could, but it's just a metal cup in there. So a metal CUP is, wait, who saw who pee? Anyway, the metal cup and the plastic housing is apparently able to handle all of the stresses that a clutch spring puts upon it, including being a stopper. So this thing will stop all of that spring force converted into hydraulic pressure. It'll just hit up against this, and it's all contained within a frickin' snap ring. It's wild. It's magical and wild. I can't believe that. I mean, who did the calculations that figures out exactly how much snap you need in order to retain this projectile on your clutch? Pretty crazy. No, we only allow the deepest of Gopnik hard bass in the music channel. That's it. El Taco Mix, hey, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. You didn't have to do that. I don't know what the hell is going on with all this stuff over here. That's the seal. And then this is just designed to make sure that clutch fluid doesn't get all over everything, right? And roots maneuver. Don't you, you fuck, it's in my head now. What are you talking about? I don't know. Everybody tries to be like rebellious about, that's just wrong. Anyway, this stuff. That's the magnet. It's a rare earth magnet. Pretty cool. I'm honestly surprised I've never seen you on Twitch before, stupid algorithm. Man, you know, I don't know. Somebody in Rabad's chat was like, are you still doing that criminally underrated Twitch stream? And then I've had like one brush with an advertiser that was like, we identified your channel as something that might blow up soon. So I don't know if everybody's just inflating my ego balloon, or if there's an actual travesty here involving this kind of content not becoming popular. But I'll tell you, there's a lot of people like me on Twitch. This is gonna get clutch fluid everywhere. I never said I didn't like drum and bass. It's just fat being a little bastard. Look at this little magnet ring. I hear parts falling out and going everywhere. And that might be some kind of a valve or just maybe a stopper button. Look at that little rare earth magnet. I don't think I ever said I don't like drum and bass. Saw me through the TKF Discord. Ah, cool. Good to know. Yeah, I'm sort of loosely associated with them. But, I mean, my shop isn't... the stuff we do here is not all that scientific. No, there's no clutch stop on the pedal frame. I'll tell you that right now. You just trust me on that one, because I don't want to blow up that spring again. If the pedal frame goes all the way to the front, the crossover spring or whatever it is will pull itself apart and get in a weird angle, and it won't compress again until I poke at it and get it aligned. So if the clutch cylinder is in there, the pedal goes all the way up and it gets exactly even with the brakes. So lots of TKF isn't exactly scientific. Oh, I do have paper towels. Just noticed them behind the desk to show you how much kind of squalor I live in. I didn't know there was a lot of art stuff there. Yeah, I've been around. Oh, that just made. That is the worst. Okay, anyway, it's like clutch fluid on paper towel noise. Ugh. Yeah, it was bad. That was real bad. Anyway, TKF, I've been there a long time, and I haven't kept up. I don't know who's what. That fluid is terrible. Yeah, it could be pretty bad. Make the sound again. No, I think there is some kind of a valve on this thing. Well, I don't want to find out right now because it's gonna be crazy. Let me try to get this thing back. I'm just gonna put it back together with the spring, or sorry, with the magnet. We don't need this magnet. I can figure out another method of figuring out where the pedal is, involving a different magnet, because I got plenty of other magnets. So Captain New Line, Lime, New Lime. Damn it! I think magnet then button. I don't know if the polarity is going to be wrong on this thing or not. I used to listen to a lot of Drum and Bass. Drum and Bass. Wait, is that thing just like poised to fall out at all times? I think it moves with a valve. Yeah, I think this thing acts as a valve. I know, and I know it's like, you know, it's like handling oil. It's like you can get cancer from handling too much oil or something, but at the same time, like, this is like one day when I got like a couple drops of the stuff on my hands. So that apparently is enough to hold back all of the clutch's spring pressure. Odd. Pretty odd. It's cool stuff though. But anyway, I don't want to involve hydraulic fluid in this system. Hold on. Make sure everything's... There we go. Got to fit all the way down there, and then this thing has to go into it. Oh, that's the, yeah, orange pumice. That stuff is awesome. I used to live and die by that stuff. I had an art teacher who would, he got like the real stuff, like the printing press stuff. Not, I don't know, it might have been Gojo brand, but it was orange pumice soap that came in a can, and then he had a little crank thing that would dispense it. So it was like Gojo, but it was much thicker and more pumicey, so you could really get stuff off your hands with that. It was pretty crazy. Washing bike. Yeah, apparently that's a thing that I didn't know about until watching the Shake Hands with Danger video, is that people used to use gasoline to clean stuff, like a lot. Like, even there are videos from the 50s where they show, like, the housewife. They show her filling a wash tub with gasoline and washing clothes in it indoors. Holy shit. Especially considering the state of like home electrics back then. Hey, Ma, what are you doing in here? Turn on the light. Explosion. Pretty crazy stuff. Every time you say clutch fluid, it sounds worse than the last, because I'm increasingly covered in it. All right. So anyway, that's the clutch cylinder, right? That's the clutch cylinder. Pretty crazy that they got so much functionality into this little thing, because this is taking the full force of your foot, and it's able to make a stopper that puts the pedal in the right location. You know, nice fittings on it and everything, and it's relatively small and light, and they managed to make most of it out of plastic. Pretty crazily. The other thing that it does is it pivots on the front. I don't know if I can replicate that. Pivoting on the front. It's got like the piston jacket, which is really light and weird, and then it's actually got the pushy thing connected to the eyelet, the piston eyelet. Now, I did a little bit of research into piston eyelets, and they've got them ad nauseum on McMaster Car. They're cheap. However, what I ended up buying, was from Amazon, and it was a Ford clutch pedal. I forget the exact terms, but this is a Ford part, which means it's probably not in metric. It is. It's actually exactly the right size. It's perfectly sized and shaped to fit. It might be a little wider, which I'm concerned about, but I mean, I have a metal file. I can just file it down if I need to. It looks to be about approximately the right thing, though. I mean, maybe this is a standard. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird when you find stuff like that, like BMW and Ford. I don't even think they go to the same parties, but apparently it seems like they've collaborated, or it's a standard. I don't know. So that means that I can use the original retaining pin that goes into the pedal, and I can attach something to this, something involving this spring. So what I came up with is an amalgamation of pretty much everything I have in the shop. I have two weird washer discs that came off of the steering column from the Mercedes wheel that I bought for the actual direct drive motor. So my wheel is in the other room, so I'm not going to get it because it weighs 18 pounds, but it is a 2 horsepower Mitsubishi Mel Servo hooked into a Mercedes S-Class wheel. The reason I got a Mercedes S-Class wheels is it's got pedals on the back, and it's got an up, down, right, and left. That's literally what motivated my decision for this wheel. It's pretty awesome. It's a lot of fun. When I turn on force feedback in full, it is a workout. And that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted it to be a little bit of a madness kind of exercise, right? So anyway, in order to mount the wheel to the servo motor, I actually just got fed up and I bought a Mercedes steering column for like $20. I love eBay. And then I took a bandsaw to it and I cut off the very tip that had the right splines to fit to the Mercedes steering wheel. From there, we went on a whole odyssey of reverse engineering what's called the LIN bus, but we don't need to get into that yet. Yeah, it's essentially DIY. A lot of it was mechanical stuff, but I don't know if I put the wheel code on GitHub, because what we did is we reverse engineered the LIN bus and I got it into kind of like bitbang mode, and we were able to get data back from the steering wheel. So, and then I also made a slip ring that we were able to send 12 volts plus minus and then LIN bus. Now this is overbuilt and oversized and over everything, and I'm over it because it works perfectly. Put a little dielectric grease on it, and I have little wipers that I soldered to the same circuit board, and then I layered the two circuit boards one on top of the other, and then we have this giant slip ring. It doesn't need to be this big, but whatever. Everything on this project is big. This is tough to do in Fusion 360 because at the time when you rendered the board, if you had a closed trace like this, it would fill in the entire middle with the trace. It didn't know how to render it properly. So in order to make the 3D printed solids that go around it, I had to basically break the line and then remake it in the software so that I was tricking it into thinking that it was actually a broken trace. That was really annoying, and AutoCAD sees no reason to correct that. So if you're ever doing something in AutoCAD and you need a trace to be completely circular, just know that that error exists. But yeah, when did we make that? 5/26/2020. I thought that was a 2019 project. My brain doesn't work right. All right, anyway, so I keep those up there just for funsies. Oh yeah, for the person that was in here earlier, El Taco. I still have some of the patches. I actually bought this patch the day that we were kicked out of this this unit. I put it in the back of my car. That's why it's so sun damaged. I had it in the back window just in case I got pulled over. I don't know if that got me any credit though. I'm gonna find your laptop, and then I'm gonna respond to it. I'm gonna respond to your laptop. Yeah, we were in that unit for one day. Anyway, I was, at least for when I got hired. Anyway, so Ford eyelet, Mercedes steering column washers that I held on to for no reason. And it's good because they've got that little lip on the bottom, which means when I have these captured on a bolt, the spring isn't necessarily going to hit up against it. I don't know if that's really a requirement, and I would rather these be a little wider, but I mean, in the future, maybe I could 3D print something for that. Doesn't matter. Anyway, fence spring from Home Depot, washers from a Mercedes steering wheel, eyelet from Amazon for a Ford, angle bar. And you can tell by the marks that I've already worked out where everything's supposed to go. Angle bar. 80/20 rail. Now this is 80/20 rail. I don't have a block of wood. I don't have a block of wood. I'm sorry. I guess I just don't have blocks of wood around here that fit this purpose. This is approximately clutch sized, sorta. And that's actually gonna mount right here above where the center of that is supposed to be. There might be a little jankiness because this is required. They wouldn't engineer that in there if it wasn't required. And if you look at it, you can just see it. Yeah, you just carve a piece of. Yeah, I just took a knife and then that fell on the ground. And I was like, all right. Now this is I use blocks like this on the milling machine. Usually the low tech, fine bomb, C4 put on bomb, no more bomb. Yeah, the ID defeat stuff for a little while was testing literally anything they could regarding identifying. There's some weird stuff coming out of there. Anyway, 1, 2, let's get to my loo. And then one of these guys. I think that's the right side. It might be the wrong. Nope, this is the one. That's the one over here. So, I mean, this isn't a locking, this isn't like a nylock. I'll have to find a nylock to replace that, but we could just see. So here in this Ford piece, this had inexplicably, I think it was like it's a 7mm hole. Who does anything with 7mm? It's such a weird size. Like 8mm is a standard, like, you know, shaft size for your hardened mechanical shafts. Calm down, chat. 6mm would be like an M6 bolt. Well, I've got an M8. I think this is M8. I think this is metric. What I did is I took one of my taps and I tapped this as best I can. For those of you in 160p, these are actually threads right here. So now, M8 and 7/16 are the same thing. Huh. Well, this thing was 7mm, so it's really weird. Yeah, that would explain the mechanical shaft size. But yeah, this was the perfect size for me to tap. Now, that's not to say that it's gonna like rip out all its taps once I, because this is aluminum. It's not terribly strong when you thread it. I don't know. I think that'll couple mechanically pretty well. But yeah, I found a shoulder bolt, which means I can have this sort of, not really all that effectively, but sort of slide for this distance. And that slide distance is a little bit greater than the distance that the clutch needs to move. So all this stuff started coming together. This is from me spending time just sitting at my desk, like looking around for parts, putting stuff together, trying different configurations. failing routinely, and then eventually stumbling upon these parts at the bottom of the bin. So this whole thing, this whole sleeved thing goes together, and then it springs out and it severs my eye from its socket. And then I get to wear an eye patch and I'll look real cool. Start talking about solid snake and stuff, huh? Chat's very adult today. I was mean to them earlier, I think. All right. Look at that. Yeah, there you go. That is kind of a badass. Well, yeah, about that. That multi-millionaire found some good artists to do this stuff on his stream. Too good art. Okay. So now we've got a coiled spring with some pre-tension on it. Coiled. We've got a spring with pre-tension on it. It's quite a bit, actually. Yeah. A lot of pre-tension on it. Well, I need, and actually that's been a promise that I've been making over and over again to chat. I'm like a bad dad. I keep breaking promises to you guys. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna work on emotes. And I need new ones. We need to make tier 3 all money emotes. There has to be like a stack of money in each of the tier 3 emotes. That's my promise to you, chat. And then some of the spillover that went into tier 2, I want to move to tier 1 and get rid of some of the emotes that I don't think are too great. Yeah, those are the big popular ones. And actually, the sweat one used to be a 4-sided chip. Yeah, I do like Dapper, but I kind of want to move Dapper down to like the regular use ones. I don't know. Would you guys be totally like disenfranchised with Bother if he moved Dapper down? Although Dapper is kind of more of a, I mean, you gotta be upper class for Dapper. So I think maybe I don't move it. Now there's a little locking grub screw in this thing, so you know I approve. We got a grub screw, so I'm tightening up that. Ah, damn it, that was a drop. Where did it go? Oh, it's right there, right near all the garbage, all the dust and garbage that's on the floors in here. What are we up to? 914. That's my second favorite Porsche of that era. Okay. So, this into here. I found a nice big one of these because I figure it's probably going to be under quite a bit of force. And then that goes onto the rail, and that'll hold this block and allow me to partially adjust this thing. Where is that? I'll just use one of these for now. I'm gonna have to take all this stuff off of here in order to drill holes in it. I gotta drill holes in this rail. It's not gonna work otherwise. Or will it? Wait a minute. Think about that. Well, first of all, we got a couple problems, and one of them is that this is not even. And I guess I could probably try to invent some kind of a standoff here to get these even. This is for a different, this is like 80 something or other rails. I forget it's a different series of rails that's thicker. It's got more junk in the trunk. They're a metric size and they're a bit larger. I use these to make the brewing table, which is the table that sits under Burn the Subs, which is visible. I'm all up in the way of that table. It's basically that right there, that table. And so it has those big thick rails on it, and I was gonna make like a shelf on the table, and that's why I have these angle bars. But this is gonna take the amount of force of this spring that I have not calculated because I'm not a freaking BMW engineer. This thing boggles my mind. I am just putting a big bracket on it and going, it's done. So the point is that this I would like to attach in lieu of this cylinder. It is approximately kind of close to what the other one is. I think I might have to shave off this side here. I know this is only temporary unless it works, and then it's permanent. I probably would want more rail so that it's a little bit adjustable. It's got a backstop. It's not going anywhere from where it is right now. It has some spring tension. It doesn't need to feel hydraulic. This is for the brakes. So this is the layover from the steering wheel, right? And if I could get this into position in such a way as to have it give a little bit of a squish as you start hitting the brakes, I'll be as happy as a something in something else. I don't know what to say on that one. But yeah, if I could somehow couple this with the brakes, there's nothing more permanent than temporary. I was quoting red green for mine. So that's the idea. That's the idea behind the clutch test. God, that took a lot of explanation. The stream can start now. All right, let's get over here. So the light's in the way. That's right. I moved the light. I gotta. This stuff is so large today that everything is just on top of itself. Let's get this over here. I need to just get a final like assessment of what's where on this thing, so that we can take this over to the milling machine, and I can give it the old 1-2. Another thing I need to do is figure out what the hole distance spacing is, which I can just get a ruler to do. There's nothing more permanent than a temporary government program. I suppose. Moving at the speed of government. Oh, that's actually, because it hangs over a little bit, it might actually just fit like that. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Oh, but it needs to stop it like here. That might just be down to pre-tensioning this thing with some wrenches. And I can move this back and forth if, well, I can't move it back and forth if I drill holes through it. Let's find hardware that will go in the rail and just bolt onto here. We don't have to mill anything for this, I just realized. Let's see if I can find hardware for this thing. So we need 2 bolts that are gonna go through the BMW stuff and then straight to this trough in the rail. And that way we can move this back and forth. I can move this back and forth and I can tension the spring. Yeah! Temporarily permanent solutions. All right, so where is my 80/20, 20/20? Hey, still got a bottle of seltzer down there. Oh, sweet. Thought I was out of those. Where did I put that stuff? Crap. I don't know where the bin went. It's been a bit of a bodge kind of weekend here. Both my health and the the shop. I've been bodging things together. The art of the kludge, right? And so the bins of all the stuff have gone all over the place, and I am looking for them right now because wherever I was, there's probably a parts bin in my wake. Oh, so if you guys want an insight, hold on, I got an address label there that I gotta move. An insight into all of the various testing that I've done. Take one look at the trash pile and you'll see that everything in the shop that contains a spring, including bungee cords, has been utilized. The stool that I was sitting on was literally just directly blocking my view of where all of my 80/20 hardware is. But yeah, I've got bungee cables there that I tried a little bit to get some spring on the clutch. And then that is some weird thing that I got from a closed machine shop. That was part of the St. Wiggly and I looking at machine shops where all my milling bits come from. I don't even know what this thing is. I'll show it to you guys. It's this giant plate of metal that's like 1 billion pounds. I was considering if I wanted to send this to Gonad just for fun, just because it would be a weird thing and nobody would know what to do with it. I took half of my house apart playing with pedals. Does it make weird creaking noises because you cut like structural parts out of the house? I don't know what this thing is. So it's a shoulder bolt. Everything orange, right? So maybe fire safety or something. Be cool about fire safety, right? Big metal plate, painted blue. Orange, right angle bar that's cast, that has 2 sliding mounts. The business end is some kind of a monster bolt that's holding what looks like a pulley. I can't show this to you guys. The light is so far away right now. It has what looks like a pulley that's actually part of what this giant spring actuates against. So the spring hits this part, and there's just like a pin insert in order to give it some spring tension, and then it just gets a shoulder bolt with a washer out here. Ugh. That giant paper cutting blade, that might actually be what it was. This is a ceiling tile manufacturing place. Or no, not ceiling tile. They were like ceiling grids, like that thing you put on fluorescent lights. So a lot of the hardware there was for packaging them. So whatever it takes to shove the ceiling lights into the box. And that's why I have that big 3-phase actuated linear rod thing. Yeah, it was some type of drop-down ceiling stuff. But they were packaging it at the facility, and so it had its own little machine shop, or, you know, machinists kind of guys maintaining stuff. I had a job installing drop ceilings for a bit. Awful stuff, yeah. I don't think it's a shock absorber. There's no oil in this, right? I think you know, paper cutting blade really does kind of, I don't know though. It's like, what would you like, pull a rope or something? Or maybe, yeah, maybe absorb some kind of, I don't know what it is, and it scares me. It's really heavy too, but I was thinking like, maybe I could use this spring. And I have no idea how I'd use the spring at the current moment, because you know, this thing does rotate, but there's not a lot of axle access, and you need axle access to do a rotational spring like this. So I don't know what this thing could possibly do. But it's like there's nothing to actuate here. What is being like? You get this. What is this? What is this? What does it do? And it's like really shoddily made. Like maybe you pull the lever and it like knocks over a bucket of sand. Motor connected to the far hole, and the drop ceiling ran through it with a blade attached to cut the stuff. They weren't. No. You don't understand. This facility's sole purpose was to package that material. I mean, they did have a giant press, so maybe they were creating it. I'm not totally sure about that. They weren't like, this wasn't like an installation hardware. This is literally just shoving the stuff into cardboard boxes. Was most of the hardware at this place. It was a small facility. You know, it had like a little office, and then it had a shop floor that went all the way back with a loading dock. And that was it. But they did have like a 6-ton press. It was a giant press. 6, maybe 16. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. If it had like a block like on there, maybe it was spring in the block. We'll never know, but it's an interesting curiosity, and it weighs about 16 pounds. So I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to get rid of it in any of the projects that I do. None of the projects I do involve forces that are this large. This will hold up a car. Like, yeah, maybe it was part of the press. It's definitely like factory spec, considering, I mean, this isn't very tight, but factory spec considering like how much metal and weight is in this thing. Anyway, that was one of the things that I was considering. My arm's getting tired just from showing this to you guys. Let me put this down. Let me put it down without like killing somebody. I need that crash sound effect with like the cat meowing. Hold on, maybe right there. Oh, I just crushed one of the cardboard box. Hardboard? I just crushed one of the cardboard boxes of it. All right, so in the saga of me losing room to projects, here's the bin of 80/20 hardware. I am now even further pushed towards the computer. All this desk space. And here I am. This is the law of projects. This is how it works. The more you work on something, the further back you're going to get pressed, unless you actually clean stuff up. But I don't know how that's spelled, so I'm never going to do it. All right, let's see here. I need 2 cleats and 2 longer bolts for those cleats. How long? Let me find out. How long do they need to be? This is the thing about sizing all this hardware. At least there's plenty of space to get to these from the other side. That's way too much. Something a little shorter than that. Because you see, the original clutch thing has these long eyelets that mount it, but I know it's bad. Any open surface that faces upwards is just gone. It's just, you know, fused with the rest of the... Damn it, that was a drop. There was, what did I do? I brought something in here that had a surface on the top, and I very nearly stored something on it just a moment later. It was criminal. Like, barely a surface, and it wasn't even something that was going to be in here for a long time, that I put on the floor, and it had this flat top surface. I'm like, oh, I could just put this here. No! Oh yeah, this is what I did it with too. I wheeled the 3D printer over here, and I'm storing a bolt bin on it now. Why? How did that happen? I wasn't even thinking. It just ended up there. Like, that's where the control box goes. And yet, I see it, and I immediately just put something on that surface. Horizontal shit collectors. I know, right? I store so many things inside my CNC. No! Don't do it! Alright, that might be acceptable. Let's see if the rail gets close to that. I need a piece of rail that I can use temporarily. Hold on, let me go grab one from over there. These little shortcuts are from some other project. I think it was like one of the steering wheel projects, and yeah, I use them as like blocks to hold stuff off on the milling machine. Started mine with a wallpaper on the bed and broke the bit a while ago. Started your what? Oh, sorry. Oh, your CNC. Wallpaper on the bed? How does that? Oh, wallpaper scraper. Sorry. Oh my God. Redesign a CNC. You did so much like giant 3D printing for that, though. All right, so I need to check the depth. I could put washers and stuff on the other side to depth it properly. That'll do. All right, so we've got our bolt size. There's like a little like tray that these fit into on the other side. So this is our bolt size for the two things. And now we need to find cleats that are compatible with this stuff. I can't believe I thought I'd have to use the milling machine today. I was convinced that I would be drilling through this block, or that block, this block. Yeah, these are the exact same size. Let's see. Hopefully I've got another one of these. Hopefully. That is not compatible. They are close to the same length, though. I might be able to get away with that. Looking at the... you guys can't even see what I'm doing. Yeah, these are close to the same length. This one has much gnarlier threads on it, which means it won't be compatible with that. This might be a different... these 80/20 rails are all across... They're all over the place with the sizings. And then I've got 20/20 hardware in here, too. Look at that clean one. Where does this one come from? Oh, nice. Well, it's not the right size, but it's really nice looking. I think this is from a motor. We're not in focus. Stay focused, chat. Table and joiner covered in garage. Next project's gonna have one table empty so I can fold it. Yeah, I feel like I need more like cabinets and stuff that I can store stuff in, because everything gets dusty because it's all out in the open here. All out in the open, so everything collects all of that shop dust, especially when I start sanding stuff. It'll really get it all over the place. Ode to a piece of hardware that I am missing. I don't know if I have one. Unless it's in one of the screw bins, but then I gotta find like a compatible cleat for it. So let me just see what I have in that department. That might be. Oop, way too big. Oh, there it is. Yeah, he is. All right, so we got two of these. I need to find cleats for it, though, and I don't know what kind of supply I have of that sort of thing. And I do have these twisty guys, but I passionately hate these things. I really, really dislike them. They're very annoying to use. I've had hardware just disintegrate while using these things. If you get them set up properly, I guess they work all right. But I have not had good experience with them. I hope the rooting through the bin isn't too loud for you guys. It's the same kit. Is it as disorganized as mine is? Oh my God! Yeah, they're very annoying. The trick is, I don't know what the trick is, actually. I'm not gonna recommend anything. You need to, basically what I need are T-handle T-handle hex keys and enough space to have them go on straight, and then you need to almost completely unscrew them and then screw them on quickly, and then the thing will do its 90-degree turn and it'll hold on properly. Yeah, the trick is not to use them. I agree. Some people do not agree. That's okay. You're allowed to be wrong. Yeah, see, I want to use these, but they're much smaller. They'll take the amount of force that I need to put into them. It's just, the distance, I don't know. Like, if that would work, but I think that's too far. I think I've gone too far in a few places. Let's just see if that works. Wait, but that's a screwdriver. Like, that's like a rack panel screw. I don't know. Fuck that. Get that out of my face. Get that drizz out of my face. All right, let's see. That would probably work. So if I can find another one of these of this size. I would have liked to use the larger hardware, though. But I don't think I have a... I don't think I have one of these things to go along with that larger hardware. Unless... no. No. I cannot. I must not. This guy. Yeah, there he is. Now the question is this going to just fall through the hole? Is this just going to... Now that I've gone to a slightly smaller size, is it just going to go right through? No, that'll hold. Okay. Barely, but it'll hold. Test on this end here. You guys can see what I'm doing. Anytime you work with car parts, you're like... You always got to do these same things with working on cars, huh? Which is like getting your hand into an area that a hand is not meant to get into. That might not have enough threads on the other side. All right, let's see. I guess I'll start it, and then I'll see if the frame rail goes on there. I need like 1 millimeter out of this. Yeah. Oh man, the cramps. Yep, I know what you mean. I get those all the damn time. Working on like certain car stuff, and you're just like, ah, come on. All right, I need a longer. Luckily, I have kits of hardware of this size, so I can do that now without dropping anything on the floor. Don't drop that. Dun-da-da. I mean, it's like everything on this is like so sturdy. All the hardware is like gigantic. And then I've got this tiny little bolt holding the clutch cylinder on. This tiny little bolt. Like, look at this. Look at that thing. It's beautiful. It's humongous. Let me go get that screw kit. What's that? Oh, yeah. Bad direction as a source of like 1 billion pallets. All right, what's this one? These are all M3, which is not the size. This is like M5, M6, M4. This goes up to M5. This is M4. Okay, oh, that works. That means that I got slightly larger ones, which are not... No, wait. Oh, it's not M4. It is M5. It is M5. The superior M. Okay, these are slightly longer. You guys can't see, you're just looking at my stomach. Don't look at me! I'm having a bad hair day! Stop staring at me! Okay, over here. Then get down, you gotta get down to their level, right? You gotta have a conversation down here at their level. And that, all right, contort the fingies. And then those are bolts that I don't need. This would be the one that threads. One hand behind it. Now my fear is that this one, what happens with the rail mounting stuff is that you can bottom out the bolt, and then that'll hit the back of the rail. So if that happens, I'm going to need to file these down. This is all just for a test, too. Oh, and then I also would need to get a hex wrench in here in order to tighten it up. Which, boy howdy, is that annoying. Even BMW was like, man, that's really annoying. So what they did is they they had little captured nuts on the other side. Not really captured, but there's a trough for the nut. And what that trough is doing is supporting the edges of the nut so that it screws in from the other side and tightens itself up. Pretty crazy. All right, let me see here. Let me see if I can tighten this. I need I don't know what size the thing is. Because it's an M5, it doesn't necessarily have a 5mm cap head, does it? I'm blocking my own light. See if I can tighten that down. Where is that? Nope, it's a 4. It's a 4. Like it physically can't be, right? There we go. Oh, that holds good. Oh, that bites down good. Oh, that's nice. Okay, that was a lot easier than I thought it would be. Let's get the other one in there simultaneously. 2 at the same time. I'm happy with that. Yeah, because that gives me a measure of adjustability on this. Maybe. Maybe. Everything's a maybe. You're a baby. I mean a maybe. It was a maybe. I'm sorry, I misspoke. This one, you guys can't really see. You guys there. That's uncomfortably close, but there's that. Then I gotta somehow get in here behind it. Do a little one of these. How does this go in? I guess I do like this. The problem is I don't know if I can mount this while it's in this position. I think so. Yeah, it'll work. It'll barely work. It'll barely not work. What the no! It's the other rail is blocking it. Other side. Going for the other side. Let's go in from here. Yeah, there. That's the better angle. That's the better angle. There's the meta. All right, so that's all the way in the rear. Tighten that up. Let's see how it is. See if we're happy with it. Hold on. I don't want to let go because this will fall. I'll give you guys more of a view of the absurdity of what I'm trying to accomplish here. Nope, never mind. All of the solids are blocking where my hands are. I don't care. I want to get this done. Tighten that up. Tighten this up. This would be completely unacceptably annoying if I were using those little twisty nuts. As good as those are. Ah, there we go. Okay. Okay. So that is the mount for the clutch spring that I'm going to put in. I'm pretty happy with that actually, because that's here, if I can, I don't know if I can tilt that really well. You guys will just have to come over here with me. Yeah, there he is. So that's the mount now. So that's taking the place of the top rails of the clutch, and it's bolted to the metal, and it's really strongly on there because we've got the 2 captured. There it is, that little thing right there, holding on to the inside of the rail. It's pretty strong. Now the alignment issues are probably going to come up. I don't think any of this stuff was really based on standard measurements, you know? But we'll see what I can come up with. I mean, push comes to shove, I guess I could get an angle iron and try to engineer something with that. So let's get this thing off of here, and then we can slide it into there, and I can see if I can get the pin to go into the clutch. Bad direction. I don't think $2 is going to make or break the statement there. And again, not using the little angly things. I'm using something stronger than that. So, just to be sure. Okay, so here's our first problem. Is that this is a little too close on this side. So I need to machine down the one side of this. Now I'm probably going to do it with a file, just because I don't really want to involve the milling machine in this. I don't think we need to. It's just that this angle iron is not quite right. Now the other thing that I could do is maybe use a corner cube, which is a little smaller than the 1 inch by 1 inch rail, that would be pretty strong. But it would also bust this out a little bit and make the standoff distances a little weirder. So we're just trying to get a measurement here, right? We're trying to get an initial test to see what works in this system. And if my first try is successful, I'll be pretty happy. Like, these are out of the question. This will just bend. It's way too thin. And then the ones with the little supports, I think I ran out of them. Yeah, I ran out of the ones with the little supports on the sides. But those wouldn't work for the similar reasons as the other ones. I'm trying my best to not be a liar. Liar! I think I could leave this on. This is the one that needs to be a little bit smaller. So, where's my file at? It's totally gonna ruin the look of that. It's gonna look like shit. But it'll be smaller. I'm gonna make a bunch of dust all the way over here. Ugh. I don't like this, but I gotta do it. Gotta do it. This is a lot of... Maybe I do have to involve the milling machine on this. What do you guys think? Like a file versus the amount... I need to take it basically down to the washer, so... I think I probably do need to involve the milling machine. Sync! Original soundtrack! Thank you for following. Every now and then I'll catch a follow, but... Alright, so yeah, here's what I'm gonna do. Here's what I'm gonna do in order to mill this. I'm gonna mount it to this. And then I'll clamp that in the milling machine, and then we can just zip off a little bit of it. So if I do that, what I can do is I can put this... Where did the bolt go? Bolt! There it is, found it. All right, so what I can do is take this. Oop, got it. And then I can do one of these over under here, under here, over under here, over under. And then I can take an edge like that, and then tighten it. I don't think this is the right size. I think these are like the same size. What's going on here? Kind of tomfoolery. Yeah, here we go. So just do this with that. None of this stuff is really going to be that aligned. I have a belt sander, and it didn't cost nearly that much. I just don't use it. I moved it to the other room because the 3D printer took its spot. Now the 3D printer's fucked up. So now what? So this isn't going to be a very clean machine job, is it? I think we can do an alright job on it, though. Yeah, thank you, Uncle Phil. This is not going to be very clean. So, you guys who are less like you guys are more inclined to be like machine-y kind of people. Maybe like avert your eyes for a little bit here. That's the wrong side. I need to do the other side. That would have been embarrassing. Although I think I could have just changed where these things were bolted in. But yeah, this needs to be like this, because we're removing this edge so that this thing fits. On the BMW pedal setup. I mean, it's a weird, this project is a weird amalgamation of like trash and like original parts that I've specifically chosen or engineered, or a lot of it is leftover rails. That's sort of the thing about this project, is I'm using up a lot of my leftover stuff. So this isn't an incredibly good engineering hold down for a milling machine, but it'll do well enough for what we're trying to accomplish. And I can sweep all this stuff under the carpet. All of this will be swept under the carpet where nobody will be able to see that I've done such a terrible job machining something. All right, the 3D printer's on the way now. All right, let's go to face cam for a little bit while I move stuff. Basically, I just need to rearrange all this crap that's in the way. Let's see. I can roll the 3D printer this way. If I move these two things, this done, out of the way. My mic cable's caught on the light. Go, get that. Toss this thing over there. The light goes over here. Cable gets kicked under the bench. Then this thing can roll. Oh, and I need to unplug it. Damn it! That's why I didn't roll it before, because it was plugged in. I need to unplug it again, which is fine. I've designed it to unplug. I built this control panel and everything so that all this stuff could be easily moved and worked with, given the space in the shop. All right, all that stuff there. Grab these cables, put them over here. Oh yeah, this computer I was like, why do I hear a fan? It's because my streaming computer is currently working on God knows what. All right, move that, get the mic cable. This is what I deal with, folks. This is the stuff that I deal with. Oh, now I got a knot in the mic cable. Oh my God, it's like a eldritch horror. What is this thing? How did you do this? How did you accomplish this? There it goes. All right, get that up and over the 3D printer. Drop down there. Shh, don't pull that, would you? Get over there. Thing over there, all the way down there. All right, now we can move this out of the way. Look at that. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Easy peasy. Now I got a bunch of shit on the milling machine that I need to move. God damn it. Oh, what are you pulling? What is this? Is that a joke? There we go. Back to here. Bring you guys all the way on a journey to the milling machine. Thermals? They plugged them back in. Thermals are plugged in. Hold on, I gotta get them ready to go. Properties, deactivate, reactivate, click OK. Here we go. All right, thermal imaging. Ta-da! Okay, so all this trash I had nowhere to put. I still have nowhere to put it. That's the problem. I guess it'll live with the 3D printer for now. So much garbage. So much garbage. Garbage on garbage on garbage. It's all garbage. We don't even need to use the DRO for this. We're just going to shave a little bit off at the top. How long have I been stacking stuff on this milling machine? This is ludicrous. There's like shavings on it still. Who used this last? I don't need these out. Okay, I can finally use the milling machine, assuming it still works. That's locked. We got a nice big meaty tip on it. Good, good, good. Yep, that should do. All right, let's get to work. Who didn't clean after using? Yeah, what an asshole. I'll get them fired. Finally, out of a cannon, into the sun. Okay, so we need to just shave a little bit off of this, and it's real loosey-goosey. None of this stuff needs to be like perfectly aligned. Basically, I'm just going to take it like this, and I need to raise the spindle a little bit so it's out of the way. I need to bring this forward just a bit. I need to close the jaws because I don't know what the hell I was doing with this thing last. It's all over the place. Closing the jaws, closing the jaws, still closing the jaws, still doing it, still going. As you can see on the thermal camera, I'm pretty warm. The teats! God, fucking emote. All right, so the important part that I remove is not all the way out here. I need to remove this stuff that's sort of close to the 80/20 rail. As long as this is straight up and down according to the rest of the machine, it should cut it straight up and down. So tighten that way up. Nobody's going anywhere. Nobody move. I'll get this and I'll tighten up the angle iron. Yeah, that's locked in. So it actually doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that the 80-20 bar is crooked. It's that the angle iron is flat to this, which, because I took a lot of time, you know, making sure that everything was flat and straight, it should be good enough. It's not like amazing precision. This vise is covered in rust. The table is like practically loose. It's not an incredibly precision machine, but we just need to lop off a little bit of that. So all I need to do is just take it through a couple passes and nibble off the material until I feel comfortable. And that'll get it kind of out of the way. Look at all the mess in the background. What is wrong with me? I need to clean up. Ugh. Wow, that sounded kind of rough, isn't it? Huh. We need to disassemble this milling machine. I need to disassemble this thing and put it all back together, because that was a rough sounding startup. Much to be said for it, though. All right, let's go. It's been a while since I milled something. Slightly more aggressive pass. We got a bit of material here to remove, so I got to be a little bit more aggressive as I build confidence. This is going to take forever. This is all just for a test. Just for a test. But I guess once I have this hardware in place, I'll be able to assess and tweak. I might be a little too aggressive. If I go slow, the y-axis is not a big fan of this. Oh boy. It does not like this. Whew. That was a little bit much. All right, we're probably like 1 or 2 passes away. Take another light pass. Yeah, it's much more behaved in the x-axis. I want it to be close to even to the rail, because then it'll be nice. I'll take 2 passes on this. Probably could have done 1. I don't know how loud the machine is over my voice. I'm kind of yelling at you guys. That's normal. That's sort of normal for around here. Quit making a pass on me, chat. Yeah, if I keep the depth light, it's much more behaved, so I have to keep it light. As much as I would love to just do one, like, fucking aggressive pass on this thing, it's better to keep it nice and easy. Nice and easy breezy. Easy breezel squeezels. Hey, CosmoQuest, how you guys doing? How y'all doing? I'm machining stuff right now, so things might be a little bit loud. I have a compressor, but we're making a virtual clutch for the racing setup. And this is only a test, so it's temporary, unless it works, and then it's permanent. Unfortunately, I don't have basic building ingredients like a block of wood. So I'm improvising using metal and my scrumpy milling machine. Oh yeah, it looks like I'm really close to the washer, so this will probably be the last pass, because I'll probably end up machining a little bit of that washer away. The washer that's from the steering column of a Mercedes-Benz. Although, actually, what I could do is I could just take this down. Yeah, we'll just take this down a little lower. I mean, this is the more behaved axis anyway. I'll take it down until it's even with the 80-20 rail, which is an inch wide. This is 40 millimeters wide, I believe. It's like 40-40 rail or something along those lines. And so what happened is we got the 80-20 rail mounted onto the Mercedes clutch pedal, but because of the differences in sizing, this thing is hitting up against the body of the clutch mount, the metal part that's at the top of the pedal. So I'm giving it a little shave. That's even. All right, we're good. No measurements. All right, sorry, Raiders. A little loud. How you guys doing? Need to fight a tree. I don't have wood in this shop of that size. Thank God you didn't do it with a file. Yeah, it was too much material. Is that really a banned word? Pedal? Are you what? It's because I made that joke too much. All right, yeah, let's get this out of here. Is that like new slang or something? What is that? That's ludicrous, Twitch. Automod, you're taking crazy pills. All right, let's get the let's break the edge on this thing so that it doesn't slice my hand open. And I'll have to vacuum that later when I clean up the rest of the shop. The trick with a milling machine is to leave it exactly as you finish, right? And you just walk away. And if anybody tries to say anything about it, you deny. And then you gaslight. That's how mills work. That's how you work a milling machine. Same applies to the kitchen. Well, the kitchen actually has gas burners, so, you know, Gaslighting is much easier. All right, let me get my lights in the right spot here. The mill was $1,500 after freight and everything. So that's delivered to my door. I got it from Grizzly. It's a Sieg X3 clone. I would suggest saving up money and buying a better one. You know, if you're in for $1,500, looking for something that's rather small but will not break my bank account. Yeah, listen, if you're gonna get a mill, you gotta spend a little bit of money. If you have a garage and you already know how to work a milling machine, then the best place for you is Craigslist to try to find something that's old. Oh, excuse me. Whew. Sorry, I'm burping a lot. I haven't eaten anything today. I've just had water. Anyway, you're looking for something old, like something that's made out of good steel, like for a long time ago. Those periodically crop up. What happened with me, and the reason that I have this mill in particular, is that I won something called the Reddit Millionaire Makers Contest. And so that ended up netting me $1 million. No, it's $1,500. It wasn't $1 million because I wasn't a sympathy story for people to feel good about donating money to, and it is purely on donations. So a lot of people actually stepped up to the plate, and they basically choose one username out of a big list of commenters, and then people randomly decide to donate money to them. So I didn't have a great sob story. I'm just some guy, you know? I don't really garner a lot of sympathy. Oh, this is just crying on stream. But this is before I started streaming. And so I netted about $1,500 out of that, which was really cool. And I donated for, you know, to winners of that contest for several years. So anyway, I got 1,500 buckos from like a billion people. And I was like, you know, I could like pay rent with that, or I could like, you know, do something boring with it. But the coolest thing for me to do with that money would be to actually turn it into an asset. And so I looked on Grizzly and I'm like, I wanted to have a drill press over there, right? I wanted to have a drill press with a shitty little XY table on it. That's all I really need. But a drill press isn't really made for those side forces. So I looked, and there's a whole family of milling machines that are also drill presses. The drill press wasn't really the requirement, but it was a milling machine where I could unlock the spindle and actually do drill press work with it. And so that was something that I wanted to have in the shop, and I found that one for about $1,400 and some change, I think. And then the rest of the change went to freight to actually get it delivered. The freight guy took pity on me and actually moved it into the garage. And then a friend and I got his heavy furniture dolly, got it down the stairs, probably broke them a little bit, into the shop, and then I used an engine hoist to put it up on the table. I broke up a home wrecker. There's better ones out there. I mean, the Sieg X3 is a fairly decently well-known, and this is just a clone of it. I believe it uses powdered sintered metal, although it could be cast. Seeing whatever that video was recently of what cast, this old Tony video about identifying cast material. I'm wondering if maybe it's cast, because when I drilled into it to add some of the mounting rails, I was getting flaky stuff out of it. I was like, it's probably powdered sintered. Nah, it might not be. It might just be cast, but it's not an incredible milling machine. It just does its job. That's all I needed to do, really. I'm doing light stuff with it. I don't work with steel. I work with aluminum. I work with I work with brass. I don't often work with wood. Every now and then. This is not really breaking the edge very cleanly, is it? I think I need the actual blade to do that. Let me get the thing with the blade on it. The stuff with the thing. Where's my thing with the thing? Hello? Where's that? Where'd it go? God, it's warm in here. Let's see. Where did my edge breaking thing go? Where did I put it? I don't know. I had two of them. There's one. I found one of them. This one is really the one that I use for holes, though. Huh? No, there's nothing. I don't think I have an edge tool on screen. Just gonna try to scrape away what's left from milling. Yeah, none of these are very consistent. I need like a sander, which I had for the longest time. I had a belt sander. 3D printer took its place, since I use it way more than the milling machine at this point. All right, well, good enough. Good enough for me to poop on, right? All right, so now that's gonna fit to the rail and not get in the way. So let me move my stool to the other side of the pedals here, and I'll move everything over this way. I can't believe pedal was a banned term. Do they even know what they're talking? It's probably like AI or something coming up with that. Does that mean that my favorite joke, which is really not all that funny, is banned? All right, let's move this over here. That way I can actually get the camera over to it. I'm not gonna say if it's if it's gonna get me in trouble. I'm not gonna say. All right, so this over here. Move this back down. Man, I'm so happy that we were able to mount this rail. So this rail right here for the people who are coming in from CosmoQuest, which again, thank you. Now that it's quiet, thank you for the raid. I really appreciate it. We are working on my sim racing setup, which is like basically it takes over my desk, but it's designed to clip and unclip from the desk. I mean, clip is a kind of a relative term when this actually needs to get bolted to my seat post. But these are real car pedals. Boy, are the neighbors going to be surprised. That's somebody else's joke that I stole. Somebody made that joke at the beginning of the stream. Anyway, boy, oh boy, are they going to be surprised. But they had it coming. They had it coming. Actual pedal cluster from a car. We had a clutch cylinder mounted right here. Clutch cylinder is a shocking piece of engineering. And I'm actually really I really like this thing. I'm shocked. They managed to make a clutch cylinder, which is something that you stomp on, primarily out of plastic. The cylinder itself is actually a metal tube inside of this. It's a metal cup inside of this thing. And then the actuator is like a hollow tube. It's got a little pivot here. There's a magnet in there. There's a magnet in there, and that magnet travels back and forth. And there's a set of reed switches here to tell the car whether or not you've got the clutch pushed in. Part of that is to make sure that you've got the clutch pushed in when you start the car. But so I'm trying to replicate the feel of this hydraulic cylinder. Now, this hydraulic cylinder is not the whole story. We're not just fighting liquid in a tube. That liquid in a tube is actually used in order to multiply the amount of force that you're adding, that you're putting on a flat spring that engages and disengages the clutch disc. So you got your motor, and you got your flywheel spinning, and you need to connect that to the drivetrain intermittently so that you can actually drive the car. So in order to connect that intermittently, originally what they would have is a long bar that goes out of the transmission or the bell housing of the transmission, and then it would have a cable that would compress that bar in a direction, and that would push against the clutch spring, and it would be basically the what do you call it, the kinematics would be the force multiplier in that case. Well, eventually we decided to use heavier clutches and more horsepower and stuff like that. So in order to contain that, you need a larger spring to press your two materials together. So given that larger spring, you need more force, and cables just aren't going to cut it. So you go over to hydraulics, and so you have another thing that can leak out of the car and kill you. So that's where the hydraulic clutch comes from. But that wonderful clutch feel is given to you by that transfer of fluid from one thing to from one system multiplied to another with the spring. I don't want to have fluids around this thing. These pedals basically sit on this surface when I store them. And I don't want clutch fluid leaking out, and I don't want bubbles to get into the system. Because if you have a bubble in a hydraulic system, it will cause things to slip. So this is like super slippy until you put it up like this, and all the bubbles go up into here, and then it's got this nice fluid action. So the same thing happens with all the other hydraulics, where you suddenly get no feel or no ability to control it. Brilliant Shuker. Hey, thank you for the prime, Brilliant Shuker. I really appreciate that. Thank you. 27 months. It's a long time. Give me one check. One check. Okay. Just checking some messages. All right. So now that we have, yeah. Oh, I should explain, by the way. I had a doctor's visit yesterday, and oh, there's still an edge right there. Whoa, that's huge. That's a huge edge. I had a doctor's visit yesterday, and because CVS doesn't, my drugstore doesn't communicate with the hospital's record system, the doctor was like, have you gotten a flu shot yet? And I'm like, let's just do it. It doesn't matter. Give me all the shots. I'll have all the vaccinations against everything. And so he ended up getting me a flu shot. It turns out I already got it. So I got a second flu shot. I think I'm like super duper vaccinated now. I got 2 flu shots. I don't know, man. I guess I'm gonna keep doing it. I'll just keep getting flu shots and getting more and more protection. But I woke up this morning and I just felt like complete ass. And then I went to bed again and woke up again. And now I just feel like I've woken up from a nap just now, you know? Need a garage, a projector, and the real car can then retrofit. Yeah, I've seen that before. People put like the whole front end of a Mini into their sim racing setup. And I've also seen like, you know, a whole dashboard and everything. I don't want to take it that far yet. Not yet. That's a game for people who have plenty of space, and I don't have that. Okay, so let's get this attached. It looks like this is great. Oh, you know what? I could have just taken the front corner out of this thing, and then it would have fit just fine. All right, that's okay though. Let's put this in its furthest back location. Just doing that by feel. And that's a line there. Nice and tight. All right, well, moment of truth on this thing, huh? House with a garage ain't costly over there. I think you vastly overestimate the amount of money that I make. Turn that off. There we go. Now I got more room to see stuff. There you go. You know, there's like those super rich people that have houses that have like glass garages and stuff, where you can see the car parked in the garage from the living room. They own like super fancy luxury cars, like super sports cars. Maybe I just need that. Oh yeah, see, this is fighting me now. Yep. All right, let's see what we can conjure up on this thing. So I need that pin, that plastic pin that goes in there, so I can couple the two together, which I have not done before. Streamer money. Yeah, it's funny when all that leak stuff happened, because it was like, everybody was like, oh my God, streamers make money. And it's like, dude, you could have just seen that. Like, at my tier, you do not make all that much money. All right, so this is just like a little plastic clip, and it goes in from the other side and clips in. So I think I could just do this. And then we'll have to adjust it so it's in the right spot and see how everything goes together. And the problem is I gotta fight. No. I gotta fight multiple things at once. Nope. Hold on. I wanted to do a flight sim joystick. This is notes from Krautland. Wanted a flight sim joystick for ages. Yeah, there's a lot of cool DIY stuff, but at the same time, like, unless you're really into the project part of it, which I am, you can just buy like a really nice flight stick. There's some good ones. The Thrustmaster T51 billion, 51,000 or something, 5100, is a very good joystick. It uses the same stuff as the Thrustmaster Warthog, which is like their baby. The same, what do you call it? It's like this thing is D-shaped. Hold on. I gotta see what direction this goes in. Excuse me. I think it's like this. But yeah, it's a good joystick to like start out with. But if you want to like build a whole system, boy howdy, are there resources out there. There's a lot of cool stuff. All right, the problem is I'm fighting like 4 springs at once. Got him. Oh man, it's not enough spring. All right, let's see if we can move it forward a little bit. Yeah, sim gear is not cheap, huh? Oh yeah, so I actually have a plastic shell that is a left-handed Warthog joystick. The guy who makes them, I think, vanished. I don't know what happened to that guy. But he was cool. We talked miniature PCs for a while, and he just stopped responding to messages. I kind of did a wellness check, but I didn't get anything back. But he, like, very... Oh! Yeah! That actually might be really good. Yeah, he made a bunch of, like... He did a bunch of stuff with the left-handed joystick for the Warthog, like the really good one. And I have 2 of the shells here. It was one of my old streams. The thing about the Thrustmaster T51 Billion, there's not a lot of buttons on the joystick itself. That's one thing that I don't like about it, but it can be converted into left hand very easily. So if you want to do a space simulator, like a space fighting simulator, I'll mention Star Citizen, but it's a little toxic if you even mention that name. You can do like a mouse in one hand and a joystick in another, and the joystick gives you all of your translations, and then the mouse will give you the ability to aim at stuff. Pretty cool. Want to faithfully create a BO, I don't even know what that is, BO 105 pitch collective and pedals. Solve the problem is to get it accepted as a USB stick. Hard part for me. Oh, that's where I'm very short, by the way. I'm a very short person. A lot of the microcontrollers that we use around here are uniquely suited for that sort of thing. The Teensy 3.26 whatever is pretty amazing. B105 German helicopter. I think Red Bull. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, Arduino Micro. I originally used Teensies because you could just choose a USB device from a pull-down menu. But yeah, there's a lot of really good stuff. Anything with a 32U4 chip. Yeah, and you can use, the Pico. You can do USB joystick. You can do all kinds of stuff with that and just get creative with some of the kinematics. Pretty cool. Oh my God. That's a lot of emotes. All right, this is actually convincing me that it is in fact a clutch. Oh yeah, that's the stuff right there. Oh yeah, me likey this. I like it a lot. So let me see if I can get it to be even with the brake pedal right now. This is pretty good, huh? It just feels a little bit clutchy because it kind of tips over, and then. At least hand actuated. I don't know what it's going to feel like to my footballs, but my handballs seem to enjoy it. So let me take this even with the other one. I can't believe this worked. And untensioned, it's got a little bit of pretension on it too. So I can actually adjust this faithfully. That's not a whole lot of pretension on it. I don't know if this will bounce back, though. That's a little light. Let's tension that up a little bit. For that... Damn it, my wrenches are in the car. Why are my wrenches in the car? This is not acceptable. My wrenches should be in here. I suddenly need car tools, and I don't have them. I was helping a friend of mine with his key fob issues. And I actually bought a tab welder yesterday just for my friend's key fob issues. This is the kind of shit that I get into. Is a friend will have a problem, and I'll go over there and we'll spend hours trying to fix the problem, and then I end up having to buy a $75 tab welder. What's in here? I have a feeling that nut is something like a 10. There's a couple wrenches in here. Let me see. You need more than one set of wrenches? No, because I don't lose tools. I know that might shock you, but I don't lose tools. That ain't me. Oh my God, it's so close. It's like a 14 millimeter. What a hedonistic size that is. Might not need to move it forward much. In many cars, the clutch pedal is a little bit further forward than the brake. I think they're even on a BMW. Actually, Fat, you've... Oh, no, you're saying that against... Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, never mind. I got it wrong. You're saying that that I don't need to be carrying the tools around with me everywhere. I know, but you know, they were in the back of the car. I just got lazy. I got lazy. They're still in... I drive a station wagon, you know? I never lack space. So I just didn't carry them back downstairs. These are like leftover tools from like old kits and stuff that I found in the basement. 14. Yeah, I actually found a 14. Only have Japanese cars. Oh yeah, they love their 14 millimeters, don't they? Yeah, German is like 13. There's a lot of 13s. How did I find 2 open-ended wrenches of exactly the right size? I got a 150 some odd piece Craftsman set in the back of my Fiesta. You know, I would very much like to be able to buy another set of tools that resembles the early 2000s Craftsman tools that I bought. These things. I love these. These are like perfectly built. They're probably the best that I've ever owned, and I might own these until I die. These will be bequeathed to the state when I die alone in a puddle of my own filth in my gross apartment with a giant 3-monitor display in front of me, and I'll melt into the chair. But yeah, these will be sold in order to pay for the cleaning services that have to come and get all my viscera out of whatever seat I'm in. A warrior's death. You know what they call those? The EMTs, where you have somebody sitting in a computer chair or the like, where they're completely surrounded by their own filth, basically trash. They call that an eagle's nest. Almost ready for the next rally. We still got to look at the brake pedal, and I got to figure out what I'm going to do about that. I don't think I'm going to be able to put 100 pounds into the brake pedal, but oh yeah. I mean, it's a little crinkly mechanically, right? It's making some crunchy noises. When are you going to play Viscera? Yeah, I was thinking about that when I said it. I don't know. I do like a good Viscera cleanup detail. Yeah, I have a lot of fun in that game. Most of the noise is from the spring crinkling, which means... let's not talk about crinkling. Which means that it would probably be prudent for me to put something around this. Like I could put a piece of shrink wrap around that. Don't need brakes. Yeah, this is a My Summer Car Rally after all. We can just delete this pedal. Japanese hand tools. I haven't experienced a lot of Japanese hand tools. Yeah, rest in peace, Sears. Sears used to, you know, because you bought Craftsman, that meant that every single tool you own is also a pry bar, and we would use it as such. And then if something exploded because we put a normal socket into an impact, then, you know, you'd go back and you'd be like, what is this? Yeah, an internal spring guide might quiet it up. That's what this one has. This one is lightly greased, but it has a little bit of plastic on both sides, like plastic that kind of like slides into itself. That would be a good thing to do for this because it would keep it from making those weird spring noises. But I mean, I think a piece of, well, shrink wrap wouldn't go over the whole thing. Also a little oil. I don't know what Lowe's is doing. Yeah, it's much quieter if it's better aligned. I mean, that's a very light clutch pedal. I don't know if I can get away with resting my foot on it or not. I'll have to test it. I'll have to strap it to the chair and test it at some point. Yeah, what it is, the noise from the spring is that these are like, the spring wants to fold and fly away in a direction, right? You can see it's bowing in the middle a little bit here. And so these middle rungs will hit against the bolt that's in the center. So one way to get rid of that noise is to keep it from bowing to either side. So if I had some kind of like a larger piece at the top of this, then it could keep it a little bit more aligned for its travel. Yeah, it is pretty satisfying. It feels good. Yeah, it's just a threaded bolt inside. I don't have a bigger bolt. I don't have any other suitable hardware for this. That's the problem. I have a good idea though, and that means we got to take this apart. I have like a plastic piece that I could put in the middle. It's from like a TV mount. I could possibly silence it for now. Or I could just let it make noise. God, there's like a lot of springs on this. I don't know what this one is even here for. This like return spring all the way over here. This one is a mystery. And I think these are even. I'll have to look at my car to see whether or not they're even. That's a little bit light in terms of the amount of force that it takes to actuate, but it does spring back. As long as it springs back, I think it's good. And then there's a little bit of a kickover force right here that can allow me to rest my foot on that. Hold on, I have to try to read chat. Hold on, I'm down here on my knees, chat. Let me get up. Give me 1 sec. Oh, my legs. Foil. Oh, just like plastic wrap? That's a little ghetto, but it could work. A top end bumper. There's already a bumper for the end travel of the thing. Hold on, let me rewind a little bit here. The Japanese cars, those crazy Euros with their aligned pedals, yeah, pretty crazy. I like how the gas pedal does not need me to do anything mechanically other than mount it. This one already has the soft feel, and since it's 2015, it's got some kind of a crazy capacitive encoder in there already. So we just get a voltage, like a really stable voltage level out of that thing. This is like, if you're building like a sim setup, like get you one of these, because you give it 5 volts, and on the other end, you get 0 to 5 volts, with 0 volts being here and 5 being there. It's brilliant. It's a really nice thing. And you get 2. There's 2 sensors for 1 inside of that. Yeah, I could really use another good set of tools. I don't know if they make good tools anymore. It'll wear in. It's even 3 springs, I know. Spring guides and lubrication are the other way to get out of this, yeah. They're new, but Craftsman is a different manufacturer. Yeah, they're not as good as they used to be. We're gonna need a bigger bolt, boba straw. That boring will, with time, deform the spring also. If my metallurgy science is on point, we're not getting anywhere near the end tolerances of this thing. It is a cheap, like, gate spring, but this is fine. It's one of those things you buy at a hardware store where it's like attached to a chain. So if like a door or a gate goes too far open, it'll spring back. Yeah, it's an electronic pedal. Are you trying to, oh, magnet pot. Well, that's a neat thing. Oh, that would have been, Damn you, Gonad. No, I can't, I'm not gonna, because like I don't have the piston anymore. Although I could do something with the rail and the travel of the end of the bolt, but I want to keep the end of the bolt free. I got to think about that, because the original clutch, see, this is why if I went hydraulic with this thing, I would be like, we'd be done already, because I could get something like those magnetic potentiometers, and I could literally just sense where the piston is. But I don't have that anymore. We don't get to have that anymore. Are these like my good Craftsman ones? Yeah, they are. They're etched like them. Huh. Maybe I do lose tools. I try to be overly stupid confident about stuff, so it's funnier when I fail. There's a touch version. I don't think that'll be, yeah. Who that? Like what, Snap-on? Snap-on you can't afford. Those are meant for professionals. Pedals 2.5. No, they're not going to have, none of them are going to have hydraulics. I don't, unless I get an oil damp. The only way that they're going to have any oil in them is if I get specific dampers for the oil, because those dampers, there are nice ones. There are adjustable ones out there that are like super, they're beautiful. They're so nice, but I'm not going to incorporate them into these pedals. The only fluid damper that we have is this little guy right here. And what this is going to do is provide us with a little bit of squish until we hit an end stop on the brakes, because I need that little bit of squish. I don't know if this is going to be enough squish so that my feet will get the communication back, right? Broken just as much Snap-on as I have Craftsman. Not worth the money. Yeah, they're really expensive. These are This one's, just to give you an idea of the generation, it's 44807, KU 44807 is the part number, serial number. Let's look that up. Damn it. 44807. When was this thing? Well, this isn't like a Wikipedia page. 44.8. I forgot the 8. Blah, 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 blah. eBay. You can still get them. The thing I like about these is that you can pull them apart and refurbish them. So I actually pulled it apart and wiped out all the old oil, because this was the miniature 1/4-inch one that I have. I did not like. I disliked this one greatly for many, many years. The problem was some of the oil inside of it solidified and it kept it from ratcheting. So I actually took a pair of ring pliers and took off that ring, popped out all the plates, almost everything removes from this, wiped it all off, put some red grease in there, and now it's like a brand new tool. It works perfectly. So I'm super happy with that. I think they're honoring the lifetime warranty still. I'm not certain about that. I just want to know what year it came out. They don't really want you to be aware of the churn of tool designs, though. Because, like, way back in the day, they'd build a tool and it would last for a long time, like even under professional use scenarios. Now they want you to keep buying these things as they wear and break. And that's not entirely the case, but it is kind of the case. It's hard to actually, like, you know, nail down. I don't know where to find, like, how to. Everybody wants to sell it to me. I have it. It's right here. I don't need one. Mellow green. What the hell? Wrench VR car list. Okay. What? Okay, anyway. I like those tools. I bought them way back in the day, and they're still amazing. So the question is whether or not this actually has the feel, and I'm not going to know until I actually press the pedal myself, which means I got to bolt it to my chair, which probably means I need to vacuum the floors because I'm going to be rolling around on them in order to get this thing mounted to my chair. So I'm not necessarily going to test this right now, but I do like, you know, it's got a decent amount of spring back, and this, because of this, like, what is this spring called? Damn it. Hold on. We can figure that out. This is going to take me a minute. I want to figure out what this spring is freaking called. Probably has a German name, but his name is Jeff. Oi. All right, let me see. Hold on. Let me make some mouse room here. RealOEM.com, and we're going to go to the catalog, and we are a car. We are current classic. It's 2015. No, my car counts as classic. We're gonna go current, and then we'll bounce back to my car to see whether or not it fits. I've actually been rewatching Adventure Time. I'm one season from finishing it. So when you call it Gunter, I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, so we're gonna look at a 3 Series. Let's go with an E46, because technically that goes to 2018. And sedan, actually coupe. M3, and then we're going to go 2015. It goes up to 2006. You lie to me, 3 Series. I don't think 2012 3 Series is an E93. Holy shit. No, we're 2015. Oh my god. F80. What the hell? USA 2015. Sure, S50. They're all S55. Browse the parts. All right, so we're looking at, oh god. I mean, technically it is the clutch system, but I don't think we're going to get the right stuff here. They're not using the plastic reservoir. What is this? Oh no, there it is. There's our buddy. Look at him right there. Oh, it's adorable. It's adorable. Now, what's that spring called? Tell me your secrets. Gear pedals. Hey, it's got its own category. Look at that. And we get a little picture of how they're oriented with one another. It does look like the clutch is forward a little bit. I need to rewatch and finish Adventure Time. I would have watched it like as it was coming out the last like 4 or 5 seasons, but I didn't really want it to end. I neglected it for a little while, and then I was gonna start watching it again, and I'm like, oh, it's ending, and I'm like, ooh, I don't want to cap that one off. I want it to keep going in my mind. So I didn't end up finishing it. And Oatmeal Man, who's sometimes in here, dropping in here, he was like, you gotta finish it. I'm like, man, I really like what they did with the variety of the type of show that it was towards like the later seasons. They just suddenly uprooted everything and did something somewhere else, or did a different concept for like, yeah, I love it. I love that show. 19, pin over center. So that's what it is. No, sorry, pin 4. It's an over center helper spring. What is designed to make the clutch feel softer as you press it in. Now, do I have an over center spring on my car? My current car, or the car that I sold for like pennies on the dollar in order to get rid of. A general ergonomic safety rule: if you never want a brake pedal, you never want the brake pedal to be the most forward. That is a good point, because the other two are required for moving the car around, and if you smash your foot against it while going from pedal to pedal, that is a good point. That is a very good point. Interesting. Current 3 series, actually 5 series, right? What do I have again? 1999 528 XI. 5 series E60. Oh yeah, we're classic. My car got downgraded to the classic list. I'm wondering if I should get classic plates on it. I pulled over the weekend because my inspection expired. I'm worried about whether or not I'm going to be able to pass too, because my windshield wipers don't work very well. They work on the highest setting. Crikey, it's the Rozzers. The cop was like, I'm, really not trying. I'm like, dude, this is like one street outside of my road. And I'm like, couldn't you like get the people who are speeding down the street or something? What is that smoke back there? My portable burned the subs. And then I helped the cop change his oil because I had all my tools in my car at the time. E39. Touring? No, this is probably sedan. They don't really have the XI on here, it seems. Or maybe they do, and I just haven't found it. But 528i, USA, I don't know, 1999. Doesn't really matter. Those are the end of 1999. Automatic, manual. Browse. All right, let's take a look here. So we're looking for the pedals. And the gas pedal's weird. Look at what the gas pedal is. It's like, it's got like this whole kinematic like craziness going on here. And I guess it does have it's a cable actuated instead of an electronic pedal, which my car that I had previously, the 2005, had an electric pedal. People hated non-cable gas pedals at first. This is something that I experienced through VW fandoms. The VW psychos, as I'll refer to them from now on. These fucking psychos thought that a cable pedal had a discernible difference from an electronic pedal, when the motor in the electronic pedal is able to move faster than your foot can on the pedal. Like, it's so stupid. State made it so even if your car is historic, came with catalytic converters, still need to pass emissions. It's because cars are lasting long enough for people to have them in viable condition when they're that old, and that people start getting the cheaper insurance with their classic car plates. I had antique plates on my Volvo. That means technically I could be pulled over at night for driving the car. There was like a window where you could drive the antique plate. Anyway, that's, oh look, a Bowden cable. Yeah, so this is how the old my car's gas pedal works. It's wild. Too many mechanical parts. Now, where's the clutch pedal? Clutch pedal, bracket supporting. Yep, it looks like it does have the center over assist. And they have a nice exploded view of it. Clutch lever return spring. Oh yeah, that's that. Where is our rubber pad, gearbox, stop buffer? I guess they don't list it in this one. Where would it be then? Oh, probably in the master drawing. Boop, boop. Wait, what the fuck is this thing? Wait a minute. Huh. Master cylinder. That ain't my gas. Weird. I got a bunch of different drawings of this stuff. But it does look like, I mean, the spring looks like it's there. It might not be on mine. I'm not sure. Yeah, we have inspections, and then you need to get inspected in order to register. And so it becomes this cascade of tickets that you can get, that I got. It's like, bro, we got like a pandemic going on here. Like, I'm not going outside very much. All right. So, great success. I think we did pretty well. I can move this forward and backwards as I see fit. If I feel like getting that authentic feel, which is great. This is great because there's not all that much tensioning it right now. So I can actually slide this back and forth carefully. Oh yeah, it looks like it kind of wants to be there. Or maybe that's just where this digs in. I don't know. That's a little far forward though. I don't know if my pedals are actually like that. I'll have to inspect because this gives it a nice little end right there. But it definitely springs back better when it's in that position. So I'll have to investigate that. And then I'm gonna have to come up with a system for getting the brake pedal to work. So our next challenge with these pedals, I'm super stoked about this, by the way. Our next challenge with the pedals is that I've got this brake pedal here that is metal, and it's got the mount right there. I can't give you guys a great view from this angle, but that goes all the way to the floor. Well, but I mean, I guess it probably should kick in like, you know, just like a little bit. It'll just move a little bit, and then I need it to hit up against, a load cell. So it'll have to have a piece of rubber, and then the load cell. Where's the load cell? I got a 50 kilogram load cell to go into this thing. Where is that? Where'd it go? What do they do with it? I don't know what happened to the load cell. Hold on, I gotta go look for it on another desk. I think I had it over here. I was like chewing on it while I was on my computer. Kind of teething against with it, you know, just like nibbling it a little bit. I don't know where it went. I seriously lost it. It's not funny anymore. Did it end up over here? Oh, why is there a glass over there? Not over there. Not over there. I had it kicking around all this stuff. Well, if I can't find it, then I can't find it. What the heck? Where did it go? If I were a load cell, and I'm not saying I'm not, where would I be? This is like, I'm looking on desks that you guys aren't allowed to see because they're in such shit shape right now. There's probably all kinds of like doxing information on them and stuff. So you guys aren't allowed to see them, but I have a feeling it's around these somewhere. Couldn't have gone far because I was sizing it out and just taking a look at it. I don't think it's on this desk. No, I don't see it out. Over here, did I throw it up? I've got an alternative clutch cylinder. This is for the handbrake. Came with the handbrake. They just gave you a clutch cylinder with it. I don't know if, you know, it depends on how I feel about the handbrake, whether or not I want to install it on that bar, because that thing's already getting a little too heavy. At this point, it's like, why not just make an entire sim pit? I don't really want to do that. I don't want to spend that money. Anything over here? No. I don't know what I did with it. So it looks like I'm going to have to do more than just soul searching. I'm going to have to do actual searching for parts that previously were kicking around. Oh, wait. What about the bin of... No, that's not the right stuff. What did I do with it? I do not know. I'm at a loss, chat. All right, well, I'd show it to you guys, but it's not a compressive load cell. It's a load cell bar. And so I've got to mount it to the top of this piece. Where is that? I'm going to mount it to the top here. That might require drilling. Mount it to the top here and drop it down, and then figure out how I want to attach something like this to give it an appropriate squishy feel. Maybe. I mean, I need to maximize the amount of travel for this thing so that I'm utilizing it properly. I don't know if this is the right solution here. Maybe just squishing foam would be the right way to do it, or to have it squish until it hits a bump stop. But that'll be for me to figure out. I'll have to think about the system, the simplest way that I can do all that. I mean, really, honestly, like if I just bought a plug for this and filled it with a little bit of oil and left just a tiny bit of air in it, it could crush, and then I could couple it somehow so that the force of crushing this went into the load cell. That would give it that oil squish feel, that just one tiny little bubble in here that you can press. But I don't know, there's a potential for that to leak all over the place, so I'm not going to do that. All right, so anyway, that was the clutch pedal. We managed to do quite a bit of work today in not a lot of time, let's be honest. I've been live for 3 hours and 30 minutes. I'm not obligated to be on for a certain amount of time. Twitch likes it if you're on longer. I like it if I'm on longer. I would like to continue to work on stuff, but I mean, we succeeded. We actually had a pretty good success today. Long pipe to my... That's right. Yes, I will run a long braided hose all the way outside to my actual car brakes, and then it'll have... I don't actually want it to have my car's brake feel. My car's brake feel, the pedal has a lot of travel before it actually starts doing its thing. I don't want squishy brakes. On my sport packaged previous car, the brakes were very solid, but I do want that sense of there being just like just a tiny little bit of squish. You want to feel like you're compressing all the fluids in it. And I've got this that was just part of another thing. Yeah, getting a sense of braking lightly is important with that kind of thing. I don't know. I'll have to play with it, and I'm gonna have to come up with an idea. This went together way too quickly. I thought we were gonna have to machine more stuff. That went together like in 5 seconds, and I really don't feel like getting into the 3D printer right now because the new motherboard is probably like here in like the next hour. It's tough with supply line stuff. It's tough, you know, coordinating everything coming in here and me being able to do projects. So on Thursday we will have a lot to do in regards to 3D printing, and I'll have the new motherboard. I might even put it in. I might just sit it, like open it up and just have it on the desk during Wednesday. Maybe I'll gnaw on it a little bit until Thursday's stream. So I'll be back on Thursday. You guys take care. I will be on Discord if you guys feel like catching up. Discord group. Or actually, I'll just do the end card. I'm ending it. We're ending it right now. I beat Octoj to it because I have the advantage of not having to deal with the delay. I'm super excited about how that clutch pedal turned out, by the way, guys. I may not show it because I'm actually fucking, like, I'm getting over having a second flu vaccine this year. I can't believe I did that. All right. Tomato's doing Fallout 4, so you guys go check them out. There's all kinds of other... Wait, is there... Davies, is he doing, like, MSC? He's not around, or at least he hasn't made it to my list, which starts at 100 viewers, apparently. Apparently, Twitch doesn't list everybody that's on, so if he's on, I don't see him. Yeah, thank you guys for joining me. I'll be on Discord over Wednesday, and then Thursday I will be back in the saddle, and we'll have a lot to do on Thursday, because we're gonna... John B is on, so if you want to see how much I hate Drummond Boss, go check out John B, because he's awesome. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's a rerun. Oh, yeah, see, that'll fool you. Anyway, I'll be back on Thursday, and we'll get into 3D printing. We might get into Clipper, in which case I'll have to like muzzle Fadden on so he doesn't say anything, so I can muddle through the whole thing, because he just went through that, and apparently it's not all that bad, and we'll see how I do. It's like a puzzle game. All right, I'll see you guys on Thursday. Have a good one, everybody.